Gio, what would you say is your biggest weakness?
Oh man, biggest
His
weakness.
beard.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna say that.
His beard game. He
It's
has
not.
no beard game.
Listen, it's not quite connecting
He's
here,
not
so we're
built like me
still
and Tyler.
I
yeah.
wouldn't say it's not connecting, it's just not there.
Chill, bro. I
Yeah.
shave it all the time. If you look really like, if you zoom in on the screen right now, you can see some little 5 o'clock shadow, something.
Gio should probably take the hair from his head and try and put them in his.
Oh, like one of those hair transplant
Yeah.
surgeries? Yeah.
You can
I
do
should try
that,
that.
G, but your face is gonna look like you just came out of like what's
Like a cave.
like the Silver Surfer, not the Silver Surfer, like Doctor Doom from Fantastic Four, where like his skin is all like changing and like silver. It's gonna look like you had like a whole transformation in your face.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I want to
it's
see what I
weird.
look like with a beard. We'll see. One day we'll find
We
out.
could AI it.
We could.
We
We
could.
could chat GBT it.
Yeah.
But anyways, as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be going through every single NBA playoff team and revealing their biggest weakness heading into the postseason. We got like a little less than a month of the season remaining. So we're kind of ramping up towards, this will be our third playoffs that we'll be covering of the show. Because literally right when we started 2 years ago was, I think, our playoff bracket predictions. And we'll obviously bring that back next month. And I'm really excited. But boys, we're into the hundreds now. It's episode 101. How we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling good. I mean, we just had like a 2 hour layover. YouTube is
Well,
giving us
I
a little bit of
don't-
issue, but it's cool though.
Yeah, we had some technical
Yeah.
difficulties trying to
Yeah.
get the short out. So hopefully everything as far as it seems is good and ready to go.
Yeah.
So we appreciate YouTube for helping us out on all ends of it.
So today is opening day, for all you guys that are baseball fans. I mean, I'm not so nervous about that because it's opening day, obviously, but it's a little nervous. But tomorrow's run, I'm really nervous because tomorrow starts the last knockout rounds for the final World Cup spots. Only 6 spots are up for grabs.
Oh, wow.
Italy's in one of those brackets,
Mhm.
and it's win or go home.
Okay.
So
Who
they
they
got
playing?
they got to play Northern Ireland tomorrow at 3:45.
Oh, they should win that.
They should.
You'd think they should, but they got eliminated by Macedonia 4 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Italy should win. Northern Ireland's up there, but we'll see. And then they got to play the winner of
Slovakia and
Slovakia and Bosnia.
Yeah.
And those are two a little better teams than Northern Ireland. But I'm worried because they missed the last 2 World Cups in a row.
Dude, if
That's
they,
bad.
if they miss another one, let alone an expanded World Cup,
Yeah.
that's
Exactly.
a bad look.
It's
Yikes.
bad look for Italy football as a whole.
Soccer.
No, it's
Football,
football.
soccer. Because
It's
listen,
soccer,
the
soccer.
Italian league is one of the best in the world, and the fact that we're the only team that out of the big 5 that have not that have missed 2 World Cups in a row as of recently, and it would be first to miss 3 in a row because the other big 4 have not missed, I think, in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. I think
and
Brazil's the
I'm
only
just-
team to make every single one.
Wow.
They've never missed a single World Cup.
So, I mean, and it's also in our own backyard. But I'm not gonna go to any games, but it just will make it more fun.
I'm going to be out of the country for most of the World Cup. So I'm
Where
a-
you gonna be?
I'm going to be in Italy.
There you
So
go.
I'm going to be escaping the madness.
And also,
everything.
like the Italy World Cup kit is really fire for this year. And
Yeah.
if I'm not gonna buy it because they're not in it.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna wait until
Yeah.
they actually qualify.
Yeah.
Then I'll buy it.
Yeah.
They literally just released. Well, they released the home one a few months ago. They released the away one last week, and it's fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Adidas does a really good job with our kits because they're a new sponsor for us.
Adidas is starting to grow on me.
they've been cooking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to have Puma, and I didn't
I
really
like Puma.
No,
They
I used
like
to
Puma.
hate Puma.
They template
kits.
everything. Everything looks the
Puma's
same.
growing on
I
me
was
big
so
time,
happy
bro.
that
The Halley shoes are really nice when it comes to Puma.
Yeah.
I
They
was
look-
The
so
shoe game is really good.
I was so happy they moved to Adidas because I like the way they style the kits that like Arsenal has Adidas and everything else. Nike it would have been fine too, of course, but I'm more of I like Adidas clothing a little more. I think it fits a little better for certain people. Nike does too, but I just like Adidas's quality.
Okay.
But yeah, let us know down in the comments. Who do you got for the World Cup this year? I feel like
Yeah.
it's pretty open,
Exactly.
and obviously we got a little bit of time to ramp up action towards the summer. And obviously, if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get us to 11K by May 1st. We're almost halfway there, so you guys got a little over a month to get us there. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls, all that good stuff. Follow our socials down in the description below. Personal ones are on the screen right here. My guy Giovanni, get him to 1 million Instagram followers. Also, join the Discord server, follow our Twitch. We should be back live next week doing either NBA watch-alongs or any other random stuff that we want to talk about. So stay tuned for that. Go watch the House of Highlights video. I believe the other one I'm in will be dropping this Friday at the time of recording. If it is, I will link it down below because it's coming out on Monday. If not, then we'll just have to wait for whenever it comes out. But they did reveal a clip on their TikTok and Instagram, so I'm assuming that it comes out in the next day or two. So go check it out. And we'll do our first 45 minutes to an hour of news and random stuff. So, boys, do we have anything else to say before we dive into the first segment?
Let's get rolling.
Rock and roll.
Into the first segment we go. Now, usually on this show, for the first segment, we like to start off with some news. And obviously, last week we had some major news regarding NBA expansion. If you guys do want to go check it out, the link to the segment is down below in the description. Go watch it. And there really wasn't anything necessarily specific that went down in the news this week. So we just kind of got a bunch of conglomerated stuff to talk about. And I guess we'll start off with the update on last week, because we recorded last week's episode on Saturday, which I believe was March 21st, saying that on the 24th, all 30 owners are going to get together in New York City and vote on NBA expansion. And as you can see right now, the tweet from Shams Charania is on the screen, saying that the Board of Governors have approved a vote for the league to explore bids and applicants for expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and Seattle only. Sources tell ESPN. A bidding process is expected to generate offers in the $7 to $10 billion range for each team, which is crazy considering a majority of the Lakers went for $10 billion and the entirety of the Celtics went for what, $6 billion, I think it was, 6.1, something like that. So any just quick thoughts on this news?
So this is telling us that this is happening.
Yes.
That's what this is saying.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. It's also telling us
Yeah.
inflation as well.
Yeah.
Well,
pretty
yeah,
much.
I mean, because the tweet last week was just kind of like there's a meeting, but now this is like a clear follow up that they're all kind of in unison and in agreement. Now it's just I think whether or not it's going to be now or in a few years, like Shams ended the tweet with, because if it's now, we're talking about near future. Few years, we have time, obviously.
Oh, so they didn't specify the time of when they're going to do
No,
this?
yeah,
Well, they targeted.
no, it says now or in a few years.
Okay.
Yeah. So the quote tweet says that they've turned the expansion of when, not if, with regard to Seattle and Las Vegas.
Right.
Now, I believe in the report last week, it said by 28, 29 was kind of the target year. But again, we don't know if they're going to bring both at the same time or they do what the NHL did and bring one now and then
Yeah.
one a few years
If
later.
if they bring only one, it's going to be uneven, though, no?
I mean,
Shouldn't they bring two?
the NHL made it work with
Correct.
You have to
31.
bring two.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, no, they made it work for a little bit
Yeah.
with NHL.
It's
It,
kinda
it
weird,
makes
though.
sense. It makes sense to bring in two because there's only 15 players on a basketball roster. When you do the expansion draft, you can take, instead of all 30 teams getting a player, you can't fit all 30 teams on one roster.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say half of them goes to Vegas, half goes to the Sonics, and then
Correct. It makes
everything's
most
fine.
sense.
Exactly. Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
that way you'll have an even amount. There's no scheduling conflicts, and everything should work out in its favor.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing we'll talk about, there's kind of like this is like three segments within the segment. So I guess the first thing we'll do is talk about the interview that Brett Siegel did with Adam Silver. For those of you that don't know who Brett Siegel is, very notable journalist. Antoine is a big fan of the guy. And obviously, Adam Silver found a lot of choice words to describe behavior of teams and players this year. Obviously, at the start of the season, we had the gambling stuff with Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier with the FBI, and that transition to the Jazz and Pacers getting fined for tanking, and just a whole bunch of stuff, the All-Star game. There's just a lot of controversy going down in the NBA. So we're basically just going to put a bunch of tweets on the screen. I'm not going to say when's going on what because there's a lot, so I'm just going to put multiple on the screen if possible. So this first one says, Adam Silver says in his NBA Board of Governors press conference that there will be a special meeting in May to address and discuss the issue of tanking and potential rule changes for the 26-27 season.
Beautiful.
So yeah, Gio, I just realized the next season is going to be 6-7.
Oh, God.
Of course
Well,
it is.
it's gonna be for every sport.
Exactly, yeah, except MLB because they only do one calendar year.
Yeah.
And then one of them says that Adam Silver said NBA expansion agreements are not certain yet, and nothing has been finalized as far as ownership groups or teams for Las Vegas and Seattle. He said there have been no handshakes or promises on the side. Nothing is set in stone right now, which I'm not really buying into that too much. It's pretty much going to happen because the amount of money all these teams are going to make is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's just say the Vegas team, it's a $10 billion investment. That money is going to get spread evenly throughout all 30 teams, which they're all going to benefit from that. And the same thing when the Sonics come back. It'll be kind of the same thing. And that's kind of really interesting. Siegel went on to tweet the expansion thing, saying more on tanking, that we have ample talent to field 32 teams. When we just had a 2-team expansion, 6% of the players were international. Now it's 30%.
Wow.
Tanking is confusing. Tanking is a confusing one and something we study. I'm not worried about the ability to have 32 competitive teams. And that's kind of been everyone's argument about, there's a lot of teams that are bad. Tanking will just add to it. And I just don't agree with that. I feel like a lot of these teams are going to be counted, like they're going to be written off, counted out. These guys are going to have chips on their shoulders. The stars will be born from these teams, along with if they get a top 3 pick, that's like even better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that end of it. And then he continued about the draft, saying the draft is one way to build a team. There is free agency, and then there's trading. I like where the league is right now, and I hate to talk about tanking because it takes away from incredible talent across the league. It's really exciting basketball. We're seeing with all the good teams in the league, the Spurs built their team by drafting, the Thunder built their team with a trade and by drafting, and the Nuggets built their team by drafting. It's all like a continuous pattern. The Pistons built their team by drafting. It's rare when you build a really good team from trades. The Pacers are one of them. But again, they also drafted a lot of their key guys. But
yeah, I think going to tanking, I just came to my mind. I don't think this is very plausible at all for anybody because it just makes the season completely just not like worth it. But if you want to stop tanking, I mean, I know we talk about changing the draft lottery odds, making no lottery. But realistically, the most legitimate way to solve it is that every team makes the playoffs.
Exactly. But we all know if the Thunder go up against the Kings, it's going to be a sweep.
So, but then as every team makes the playoffs, is it really worth watching the regular season?
Is there any league where every team makes the playoffs?
No, not at all.
So
Fantasy basketball.
They
leagues.
already expanded it to 2 more teams, and like that's more than half of the league essentially.
right.
Yeah. I think the problem is it's that they tried to change the draft lottery odds to decentivize tanking because like we all know the top 3 picks automatically get a 14% chance at the first pick. But on the old system, you had like a less than 20% chance at falling out of the top 4. Now you have a 48% chance as the worst team in the league to get the 5th pick. So just because you finish in the top 3 doesn't mean you're going to stay there. Last year, the Hornets were the only team in the top 4 to remain in the top 4. Everyone else got kicked out. And the same thing's going to happen this year. I think that we're really going to tell with how the lottery goes if it's truly rigged. If we see teams like Milwaukee or Golden State get in, it's going to be strategic. And teams like Indiana and Brooklyn and Utah will get booted out as they always do. Any other tweets from this? So he obviously says expansion is not a given. So there's absolutely a chance expansion may not happen. It's also possible we could expand to 1 market, maybe 2 or none. But Seattle and Vegas remain the clear favorites. And then we're going to there's one more tweet from Brett Siegel that we're going to talk about, but we are going to get into something from Full Court Pass, saying the NBA Players Association is calling for the 65-game rule to be abolished or reformed to create an exception for significant injuries in the case of Cade Cunningham per Tim Reynolds. And if we kind of go back to Brett Siegel, Adam Silver says that I'm not ready to say it's not working. It is working. I'm not ready to say because there is a sense of unfairness for one player that the rule doesn't work. So obviously we talked about this back in January.
We did.
And you guys hated what we had to say because it was Jokic was the player that got hurt and he was on track to miss more than 17 games. And he still has not missed his 17th game yet. He can miss 1 more before becoming ineligible.
Okay.
And as it stands right now, Cade Cunningham will miss pretty much the rest of the regular season, which will then disqualify him.
Yeah.
Yes. So real quick, any updated thoughts on this situation from both the Players Association end and from Silver's NGO? We'll start with you.
Yeah, so if I remember what I said last time, I remember liking the 65-game rule because it encourages players to play, as much as they can.
Yeah.
And I also remember saying that there should be exceptions, like certain scenarios where, you get a lung puncture or whatever it is. Collapsed lung.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Like, and how many games did he play? Like 62?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah,
He did
like
miss a little bit of time.
Just maybe
come on.
55.
Like a freak accident like that. He had every intention of finishing the season. A freak accident. He's 60. Like he's having one of the best seasons of his career. there should be a way that you could make exceptions, and I think it should be directly from Adam Silver's judgment or the
Right.
commissioner's judgment to say, this is okay, this is going to get a pass, or this is not okay. Let's say it's Kawhi Leonard and he's load managing.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy, you were load managing. You could have played. But it should be Adam Silver's decision as the commissioner to say, this is okay, this is not okay.
Yeah, it's almost like a governor granting a criminal clemency, kind of like that sort of thing. But I feel like with all NBA, that's really the main driver because you need to make an all NBA team to qualify for your next contract.
I see.
And that's why we saw, remember when we saw Tyrese Halliburton looked really bad at the start of last season? Because the season prior to that, he forced himself to play through injury so he can get the contract to play 65 games.
Right.
And he had to take a big look at himself in the mirror in that season afterwards, kind of regroup himself and kind of got back to where he was, and he ended up making the finals.
Yeah.
So it's the contract stuff that's really important. That's why Jokic has not taken another game off since, because he can sign a 4-year, $375 million contract this offseason. Like, who's going to say no to that? Or something similar to that. I mean, I think it was like 340.
You think Jokic is motivated by the money?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's like saying like
would
the
you
sky
turn down
isn't
that?
blue.
Yeah.
like
No, but there's some
Every,
players where it's
like-
like it doesn't matter as much. For an example,
No.
Brandon Ayuk. We're not going to go to football.
We're not
right
gonna go to
now,
football.
but you know what I'm.
Think
you
that's
know where I'm going
completely
with that.
different story.
But think of all the horses he can buy with
Yeah.
that kind of money.
Fair.
That's like super important. And plus they have 2 kids now. So
Yeah.
it's obviously
He also has a
more
family.
wealth
I
you
get
can
that.
pass
He's a
down
family,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
For
I'm
sure.
sure he's got stuff in Serbia that he likes to invest in and spend money on. So I understand it from that perspective.
Yeah.
And the last thing we're going to talk about, speaking of player participation, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. So he hurt himself again the other night. I forgot what the injury was. I think it was something with his knee, but I don't remember exactly.
yeah.
And the Bucks are 7 games out of the play-in. They are not making the playoffs. They are cooked. They're done. They're screwed. The Bucks want to shut him down naturally so they can fix their lottery odds and make it better, even though if they do continue to play better, Adam Silver might just give them the first pick anyways. However, Giannis wants to play.
I love that.
He wants to play. So what does Giannis do? He goes to the Players Association, and we have a statement from the Players Association that's on the screen right now, which I'll read for the audio listeners, saying, the player participation policy was designed by the league to hold teams accountable and ensure that when all-stars like Giannis Antetokounmpo are healthy and ready to play, he is on the court. Unfortunately, anti-tanking policies are only as effective as their enforcement. Fans, broadcast partners, and the integrity of the game itself will continue to suffer as long as ownership goes unchecked. We look forward to collaborating with the NBA on meaningful new proposals that will directly address and discourage tanking.
I love this. This is the Players Association?
Yeah.
Wow.
Talk
Wait,
about it,
who's-
G.
Yeah, like I love how they're working hand in hand with Adam Silver and the NBA. This is great. Like, and they're coming against these the NBA teams where they're trying to, like, you know,
So you want to know who the president and the VP are of the NBA Players Association?
who is it?
So
Is it CJ McCollum?
He used to be.
He's
Okay.
out of his turn. That's
VP
why it's good now, because
Yeah.
he didn't do a good
VP
job.
VP is Grant Williams.
Grant Williams. Wow.
President is not even playing this year.
Who is it?
It's Fred VanVleet.
Interesting. Well, that's why he's
He's locked in,
yeah,
bro. He's
he's had plenty of time.
look,
to, you know,
he's doing the good work, so Katie doesn't tweet about him in his group chats.
there you go.
That's kind of the main thing.
There you
But
go.
again, that's kind of, I always talk about the specifics when it comes to leagues. If you notice something about the NFL, the MLB, and the NHL, they're leagues. But if you look at the NBA and the PGA, they're associations.
Okay.
Association and a league are totally different entities. So the players have more empowerment
In an
in
association.
an association than a league.
Got
That's
it.
why the NBA PA has so much weight to what they do. And obviously just in general, we've seen it with trade requests and everything. Player empowerment is the mainstay in today's world. So the players are going to be the ones that have a lot of say in these things, and owners and the commissioner are going to have to cave to those things. They're going to have to appease the players.
I'm glad the players themselves want to discourage tanking. That makes me happy.
Well, think about it from this perspective, right? If you're Kyle Kuzma and
Yeah.
the Bucks want to tank,
Yeah.
they're basically tanking for his replacement.
Right.
You don't want that.
Right.
That's why Sam Darnold played out that final year to try and win games. I mean, even though he knew he was going to get traded, he didn't want to be replaced by Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So there's an incentive for the players playing right now for that
True.
not to happen.
True.
So I understand it from that end. So I guess we'll close the segment with this. Based off this whole situation of everything from tanking to expansion to whatever, do we think the league is in a good spot?
Well, I mean, I'll answer that question with like a rephrase of that.
Yeah.
It's going in the right spot. I think the expansion news is very positive news. Of course, the tanking and the 65 game rule is kind of like the downside of that, but something that's going to be worked on probably in meetings, obviously, also from what I guess Fred VanVleet said here or somebody else in the NBA PA.
Right.
So going in the right direction, I will say that it's not gotten to a point where I feel like where it's in a really bad spot as of right now. You disagree?
No.
Oh, you
I
agree?
agree.
Okay.
It's
You
not
agree.
a bad spot. It's in a good spot.
Yeah, no, I think right now you just want to stop it from completely getting out of control where you have no control over anything anymore, which
Right.
I mean, I think wouldn't happen at all because you have leaders obviously that prevent this. But yeah. And then going back to Cade, take a guess at how many games he's played this year.
58.
No.
Is it higher?
He's close.
So it's 60.
Closer.
63.
Not close.
61.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
So
right
he's-
there.
So I was
4
close
games.
when I said 62.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can play through a sprained ankle. You can play through. Aaron Gordon played through a strained hamstring. You cannot play through a collapsed lung.
No,
Yeah, you
not
might
at
die.
all.
He cannot physically play until he's cleared.
He can barely
So-
breathe while he's just resting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Gio, about this whole league situation thing?
Yeah, no, I agree with Anthony. I think the league is in a good spot right now. I think Adam Silver is doing a good job. I think he's
I wouldn't say
on certain things.
I wouldn't say that.
Good.
On certain
Yeah.
things. On certain
Okay.
things.
He's got to get gambling under control.
On the things that we discussed today, I think he's doing a decent job.
Yeah.
I think that it looks like the NBA PA is working hand in hand with them, try to stop tanking. I love that. I hate tanking with a passion. So I'm encouraged by this. Yeah.
I actually disagree.
Okay.
I don't think the league is necessarily in a great spot. I think we're getting there, as Antoine alluded to before. My view on tanking is totally different than the average fan, maybe, I guess, because my team is tanking right now. But like when you're trying to get a top pick, you get pissed off when your team wins a game because you're essentially just screwing yourself in the lottery. So Nick Claxton last season hit a buzzer beater put back at the end against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers, because of that one specific game, wound up one spot in front of us in the lottery, and they wound up getting VJ Edgecombe, and we fell 2 spots back.
Is that what happened?
Exactly what happened.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
because Sixers had 3rd pick and they had 8th.
That's rough.
and we were 6 and 5, right on the lottery odds. So, and what anti-tankers tend to not mention is the good teams right now egregiously tank to get their teams.
Yeah.
The Pistons were just bad, but they tanked for Cade. The Thunder egregiously tanked to get Chet
For
Holmgren.
years.
The Magic egregiously tanked to get Paolo.
San
The
Antonio.
San Antonio Spurs tanked for like 5 years to get the team they have now. And the Rockets obviously did what they needed to do in 2021 and 2022 to get their guys. Tanking works. It's just we're seeing it more prevalent because it's working. It's a copycat league. Teams want to shoot like the Warriors, so that they're shooting a lot more threes now. Teams saw the tanking from the past few years and want to do the exact same thing.
There's a difference between tanking ethically and tanking unethically, I would say. What we're trying to get rid of is the unethical tanking. That's where you have players that are not trying. That's where you have coaches that pull the star players out, in critical times in the games. That's where,
Right.
Stuff like that. That is what we're trying to get rid of. We're trying to keep, like they said in this post here, you're trying to keep the competitive spirit in basketball games throughout the whole season, no matter what. That's
Right.
what we're trying to keep.
Exactly.
Tanking is something that happens when your team is just bad.
Right, exactly.
That's the side effect of a bad team. You tank.
You have to.
So if you're a bad team, naturally you're just going to tank, right?
Because the
But
pattern
the
is
unethical tanking is what we're trying to get rid of. That's what we're talking about.
right, but the pattern essentially is you start the year off good. Like the Nets last year started off really good. We took playoff teams to overtime, and then you trade off your assets that are playing too well. You get picks back in return. and take on bad contracts. And then you let the young guys finish out the season. It gets them reps because that's what's going to help you in the future.
Yeah, that's
So
okay.
it's a very gray area when it comes to tanking on that regard. It's just something that will never get fixed. There's bigger issues in this league, in my opinion, like the sports gambling, like the subscription services. That you have to pay a bunch of money to watch all different types of games. It's complicated. So it's all about the money, and these expansion teams are purely money based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the piggyback off tanking, there is one team that's not very good at it, and that's the Wizards.
No, they're great at tanking. They just
No, I mean,
They're not good at
the
winning.
players they've gotten
they're just not good.
not been.
They're just not good drafting.
Not good drafting.
Yeah,
not
or
good
just
drafters.
a lot of international guys too. They've gotten. That's the thing. I mean, they get a lot of international guys. Sar,
Okay, yeah.
Koulibaly, Bub. Well, Trey Johnson this year was nice, but they got Trey and they also got AD. So maybe that'll change.
Yeah, I mean, they're again
Tried trading
that's-
this time, not drafting.
That's what the Pacers did. The Pacers aren't the greatest drafters, but you trade. You trade Sabonis for Halliburton. You trade Bruce Brown's bad contract for Siakam. You trade Malcolm Brogdon for Aaron Nesmith.
They did a good job.
Like it's an incredible job.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of what it is. So that's essentially the conclusion of the NBA Players Association versus league battle versus tanking and stuff like that. Let us know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on tanking specifically? That's what I'm most curious about. And boys, do we have anything else to say before we get into the team spotlight?
Let's go.
Into the next segment we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tyler's Team Spotlight. So for those of you that are new on the show or on the channel, I guess I would say, this is the segment where I talk about a player or a team that's playing either really, really well or really, really poorly. And to be quite honest with you, it's been a pretty productive NBA season. I think the Kings are the only team that we've ever talked about that hasn't been playing good. And I'm sorry, Gio, that it was the team that Russell Westbrook is on. However, besides Russell Westbrook, quick shout out to Precious Achiuwa and shout out to Maxime Reynaud.
Yeah.
I think Reynaud's good. Did you see the quote he said the other day?
What did he say?
He said, the Spurs have Wemby, the Nuggets have Jokic, the Spurs have me.
You mean the Kings have
Kings.
me?
Oh, the Kings, sorry. The Kings
Yo,
have
Gio.
me.
Was he being serious?
He was being dead serious. Talk about the aura. That sold me. Kid's going to be a star.
Yo, if he has
Gio.
that much confidence in himself, I don't have anything but to have confidence in him as well.
Thank
Exactly.
you for trading him to me.
Oh shoot. Well, you gave me a Men Thompson, so
Yeah. He hasn't been
I'll
scoring
take
as
it.
many points, though, as he should be fantasy-wise.
He-
Reynaud, you also missed the playoffs, so it's I guess it really doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
I'm in the
I don't know
championship,
what
by the
he's
way.
talking about. This is all news to me.
I'm
Yeah,
in a
definitely.
championship with the Men Thompson. Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Gio.
Congratulations. What do you?
Thank you.
There's no win. We have no pot for you to win if you do. So you're just gonna have bragging rights. That's it.
Exactly. But
Okay,
anyways.
well, I'll just rub in your face all day long then.
I'm gonna forget about it because I
But
have.
anyways.
I have a short-term memory loss.
Anyways, last week we talked about the Atlanta Hawks and the incredible win streak they've been on. If you want to go check that out, link down below in the description. Go watch it or click the link above Gio's head. They're actually playing still incredible basketball, the Hawks. They're playing, I think, tonight at the time we're recording. They could win 14 in their last 15 or something like that.
Wow.
So
Really good.
shout out to Jalen Johnson and company. And obviously, last week, I preluded that we were going to talk about them in this week's episode because we're only recording this 4 days after the last one. Giovanni, are you ready to go to Hollywood?
I guess so. Let's do it.
We're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, this goes against everything I believe in of talking about the Los Angeles Lakers because that's all ESPN ever talks about besides the New York Knicks. But we cannot ignore what the Lakers are doing this season. They have shot up the rankings to third in the West. I'm pretty sure when I checked the ESPN or the NBA Power Rankings, they were listed as number 6, which makes sense when you're the third best team in the Western Conference.
It adds up.
It's going to add up and stuff like that. And the Lakers, at the time of filming, which is, what's today, March 25th?
Yes.
The Lakers have won 12 of their last 14 games. And as of the other night, they had their 9-game winning streak snapped by Dennis Jenkins and the Detroit Pistons. Dennis Jenkins went off for 30 points.
Yeah.
Damn good player, man.
He's good. He's really good.
So shout out to him. And it was just a crazy game in general because Isaiah Stewart didn't play either.
Yeah.
So it was literally just Dennis Jenkins, Jalen Duren,
Yeah.
and just a team committee win from the rest of the
Team.
Pistons.
Full team. And that's how you know the Pistons are good. Without
are.
Cade beating this hot Lakers team.
Very good.
Very good.
So obviously we'll talk about the downside of the Pistons later on into the main segment.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the Lakers, and I have a bunch of stats on them that we'll kind of go over, a bunch of graphics that you'll see. So boys, do we have anything else to say before we kind of dive right in here?
Let's dive.
All right, so obviously, yes, I had mentioned they won 12 of their last 14 games. everything we're about to cover on the screen is going to be in their last 14 games and in comparison to the 48 games previously. So in their last 14 games, the Lakers have the fourth best offense in the league with 121 of an offensive rating, which is incredible. They have a top 10 defense, 111.7. Now, they did have the highest ranked offense a few days ago, but they did have the drop off last night. But this still equates to a plus 9.4 net rating, which is fifth in the NBA. When you contrast that to the first 48 games of the season, they had an 11th ranked offense. It was slightly worse. The defensive rating took a nosedive. They started off the year at 24th and improved themselves up to 10th. So that has to be said for something. And they have a minus 0.7 net rating, which is 19th in the NBA at the time. Now, from the shooting efficiency scales, they are second in effective field goal percentage, which is second in the league. They are fourth in true shooting at over 61%, which is incredibly elite. And they're only turning the ball over 12 times a game, excuse me, which is tied for seventh in the league. And the numbers are pretty similar in comparison to the start of the year, where they're third in effective field goal percentage, second in true shooting, but they were turning the ball over a lot more. And I guess that's because, they were trying to adjust to this new team. Guys running out the lineup. LeBron missed the first part of the season. Luka missed a certain stretch in the season. And Austin Reeves, we know, missed over a month of action. So now they're all back, and they're starting to hoop at a very high level. So kind of just off the basis of these initial numbers, Antoine, we'll start with you. What are you kind of seeing here from the Lakers in these last 14 games specifically?
Oh, wow. I mean, Gio's been talking about it, off camera. LeBron finding his role, which is obviously being the third option because AR is back and on a just whole nother level. Luka, of course, is looking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the offense is clicking. And, I know we always crap on, like the surrounding cast, which is like DeAndre Ayton, Rui, Jared Vanderbilt, but it's been, those three guys have been holding it down, of course, because they're your star players. Luke Kennard, I think, has been shooting really good as well. What an acquisition he was for them at the deadline.
Yeah. He had a game winner one game.
They moved off Gabe Vincent, too. Anything to move off Gabe Vincent.
You saw LeBron gave him the look. He was out of there.
Yeah.
He pointed to the side, right? And then kind of yeeted him out.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm forgetting some guys, though.
Really
Marcus Smart. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Marcus Smart has been phenomenal, too. I mean, he's in the starting lineup, which is, I feel like it should always be like that because of what he does.
Yeah.
Because if you put in out a lineup of Luka, AR, LeBron, Ayton, Smart, LeBron can play the power forward easily. Ayton's your center. Luka and AR are like Luka can be a small forward. AR is your point guard.
It's like
Smart's your two guard.
And Smart can guard a forward.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's like a defensive player of the year type of guy.
Well,
so
he is a DPOI.
There you go.
He's the first guard in God knows how long to win the award.
Sidney Moncrief or something.
Well, he was the
like
first. So I don't know if there's probably been some in between, but it's incredible what they're doing from that perspective while keeping the same efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, the depth chart has Marcus Smart listed as a small forward.
There you go.
Well, yeah, obviously you're not going to play point guard over Luka Doncic. You're not going to play shooting guard over Austin Reeves. So if you want to get into the Lakers starting lineup, you got to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
But like I said, the shooting stayed the same. The offense kind of stayed the same. The one key difference, which we're going to talk about right now, is the Lakers defense. In their last 14 games, they are allowing the 10th least amount of points off turnovers at just under 16 per game. They're only allowing 13 second chance points per game, which is top 8 in the NBA.
So they're rebounding.
They're rebounding the ball at an elite level. Yeah. Not to the level of Charlotte and Denver and those kind of teams, but it's good enough for what it is. And they're only allowing 14 fast break points per game, which is 12th in the NBA.
It's good.
And as far as their defense in forcing turnovers, they're forcing 15 turnovers a game from their opponents, which is 12th in the NBA. Opponents are also only scoring 111 points per game, which is 8th in the NBA. Yeah. And here's the best stat. When guarded by Los Angeles Lakers players, they are shooting 31% from three-point range, which is far and away the best in the NBA.
Wow.
So the Lakers
that's in the last 9 games.
14 games.
14 games.
The Lakers three-point shooting defense has been elite. And they have those guys that are capable of closing out, like Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt with their length alone, can get them their driving teams out of the three-point line. Now, granted, they also haven't played the greatest three-point shooting teams over the past few weeks, but no one really cares about that type of, disclaimers and stuff. They're all kind of what they are. Now you compare this to their first 48 games where, excuse me, they were allowing almost 19 points off turnovers per game, which is bottom 11 in the NBA. The second chance points were around the same, was a little bit worse, 14.7. And the fast break points were around the same as well at about 15 exactly. They were forcing the same amount of turnovers, pretty much 13th in the league at just under 14 and a half. Now here's where a big dip was. As I mentioned previously, they were allowing 111 points per game. They were averaging 116 in their first 48 games, which is bottom 13 in the league. And here is the most flagrant stat, because when guarded by Lakers players in their first 48 games of the season, teams were shooting 36.5% from three, which is bottom 10 in the league.
All right.
Insane. That's like kind of crazy. So Gio, I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
What are you seeing out of the Lakers defense over the past few weeks?
Yeah. I'm seeing Marcus Smart. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Marcus Smart is really just like bringing his attitude to this team, and it's really infectious. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing also in clutch moments where, critical moments where you need to come up with a stop. It's always Marcus Smart that steps up. He's always guarding the best player or the guy that has the ball in his hands. And it seems to be like he's always either making a stop or he's getting a steal. He's picking in their pocket. He's deflecting a pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it always seems to be Marcus Smart. He's critical for this team because, like, we all know they can score with the best of them offensively.
Right.
It's Luka, it's Reeves. You know what I'm saying? It's LeBron as the third option.
Mm-hmm.
This is an elite scoring team. But defensively, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm going to talk about them later. Defensively, with those guys, they're not the best defenders, especially LeBron at his age. Ayton, he's on and off sometimes. But Marcus Smart,
his is just an effort problem, I'd say.
It's an effort problem, yeah. But Marcus Smart, he kind of like I said, that infectious defensive attitude that he brings, and it's really having a great effect on this team, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been his MO his whole career. I mean, you saw everything he did for Boston. He plays his heart out. He played in the playoffs on a badly sprained ankle. Like, he'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I like the way he guarded Jokic, too, when they played the Nuggets a few weeks ago. And it's kind of what Caruso did. He really set the standard of you really just kind of got to get low and get in these guys' knees. And that's kind of the way to do it, because it's clear that Jokic is probably one of, if not the most unguardable player in the league. Mm-hmm. Guarding him big's not really going to do much if you only have one of them. If you have a double big, that's great, but the Lakers don't have that. Rui and LeBron are not the size of a Cat or a Mobley or someone that's like big, either big and lanky or just big, like wide, like 6'5" wide instead of tall. So I get it from that perspective. But you mentioned a specific C word, Gio. In what type of moments? Clutch moments. Yeah. Because if there's one thing the Lakers have been absolutely elite at this season, it's been their clutch performances, which we have the metrics on the screen right now. They are 22-7 in clutch games this season. That is, I believe, over a 73% win rate in clutch games, which is by far the best team in the NBA. Really which means this team is not flustered in the final 5 minutes of the game. They lock in, they do what they need to do. And in the clutch specifically this season, they have 129 offensive rating, far and away the best in the NBA.
Yeah.
They have a top 6 defense, almost under 100 for their defensive rating.
Wow.
Get this, a plus 27.1 net rating. That is elite levels of basketball.
Yeah.
Far and away the first best team in the NBA. I think second was like around the 22.5 mark, something like that. And comparison to last season, they were still good, but look at the numbers. 129 this season, 117 last season. 102 defensive rating this season, 114 last season. Plus 27 this season, 3.8 last season. Mm-hmm. The numbers are just, you've gone from decent to all-time levels of clutch mastery. Mm-hmm. And even still, their efficiency numbers are still good. Their effective field goal percentage is around the same. Their true shooting is around the same. And this season, they have a 2.5 assist-to-turnover ratio in the clutch, which is first in the NBA. Last year, it was just a little bit lower at 2, and they were tied for fourth with like 3 other teams. Mm-hmm. So the Lakers have been ridiculously good in clutch moments. Yeah. And we have a couple stats that we're going to put from the NBA.com's power ranking stuff on the screen, saying each of the Lakers' last 5 games have been within 5 points in the last 5 minutes. and they've scored 66 points on 50 clutch offensive possessions over that stretch. Luka led the way with 24 clutch points and 5 clutch assists over that stretch. But DeAndre Ayton specifically has also had some big buckets and big offensive rebounds. And JJ Redick gets credit for the play design that got Luke Kennard that wide open three. And even him, he's leading the league in 3-point percentage, just over 48%.
Again.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It also says the Lakers were 34-24 through their first 58 games, but have been outscored by 4.9 points per 100 possessions in 238 minutes with Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron on the floor together. As they've won 12 of their last 13, they've outscored opponents by 18.3 per 100 in the trio's 216 minutes together, with the bigger difference coming on offense. So while the defense seems like it's turned a real corner, the offense is really also where they struggled early on. And the last stat says the Lakers, this is also very important for playoff implications, the Lakers now own the head-to-head tiebreakers with the Rockets, Nuggets, and Timberwolves. So Houston does have an easy remaining schedule, but the Lakers just have to tie them to be ahead of them.
Right.
That's why he missed the playoffs in our fantasy league, because every team he was tied with, he lost every single game.
That's tough.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So Antoine, we'll ask you this real quick before we get into the players. What have you been seeing from the clutch Lakers this year?
Well, listen, I don't watch a lot of Lakers basketball because I'm a Knicks fan. But from the highlights I see, obviously, it's Luka doing that most of the time. We saw the performances recently. He dropped 60. Or was it 50? Am I wrong?
60.
It was 60.
Against Bam.
Against Bam? Oh, really?
It was. Bam had 30 and 20, I think, last night.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Luka, of course, you have LeBron, and, that's one of the clutch players of all time. But taking a backseat to Luka obviously is much needed for them. So, again, JJ as well, we're not giving him enough credit. He's kind of now cemented himself kind of into this conversation as one of the best young coaches in the league from what's going on with this team, taking them to third now in the West. We saw what happened last year. It's kind of a struggle. You get Luka at the deadline, it looks a lot brighter. But again, if you don't have Luka, where are they right now?
Well, we can't say if.
Because that trade never happens when you don't have Nico Harrison in charge.
Exactly.
So again, it's just a blessing that in disguise that they got this to work. Like I said, the guy's not even working in the NBA anymore. So,
the Lakers have notoriously been a very fortunate franchise. You're able to get LeBron in free agency. You're able to get Shaq in free agency.
Yeah.
You're able to trade for Kobe Bryant on draft night. A lot of things tend to fall in the Lakers' favor. And, we were looking at a situation a couple years ago where when LeBron leaves, this team is screwed because they gave up all their assets to get Anthony Davis, and they continue to give up all their assets to get other players involved. And now
I'm begging for him to leave.
Well, it's not even that. It's you have the star player, and Dallas already put the blueprint together of how to build a finals team around Luka. There's no mystery anymore. Yeah. You just got to build a team around 3-and-D wings and a big center. And that's exactly what they did in Dallas.
Yeah.
And the Lakers can easily do the same thing in the next few years.
So let me just say this. Here's the part where you guys give me the credit for saying that LeBron needs to be the third option on this team to be successful. We give me the credit now?
We didn't disagree with you.
I think you did.
No, I just said LeBron's not the problem.
Well, he was the problem because he wasn't like when this team, even offensively, you just mentioned it, they were being outscored. What was it, 18.3 per 100?
Yeah,
that's bad, especially when you have Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. Let me tell you why. It's because LeBron was still in his head. He was thinking he was the top dog.
They were outscored by 5 points per. They're outscoring teams by 18.
Okay, yeah, right. But still, they were being outscored, and you wouldn't think that.
I don't attribute that to LeBron. I attribute that to the injuries. They had injuries everywhere. There was barely a stretch when all three of them were together up until now. Because at the start,
not necessarily.
They started the year without LeBron.
But even last year, though.
No, I'm talking about now.
We're talking about both years, though.
No, but I'm not talking about last year because last year was an adjustment period with Luka. He just got traded. It was shell shocked.
No, but I had been saying it from then.
No, but
the team was healthy then, and they were playing bad. We have to use that in the context because they've been together for 2 years now.
But in this,
so we have to use that.
But in this season specifically, they started the year off without LeBron. Right when he comes back, Luka gets, or I think it was Reeves got hurt, and then Luka got hurt, or vice versa. They've had guys in and out the lineup, and it's been a little hard to do that when you don't have reps.
But when they're playing together,
LeBron is the third option.
Right. But what I'm saying is when they were playing together, LeBron didn't want to initially take the back seat, but then he realized it's not working out because of the statistics you just showed us.
Right,
So
exactly.
he took the back seat. Now they're having success.
Plus-
so give me my flowers.
I'll give you
That's
your
what I'm
flowers.
asking for. Thank you. I
Plus-
appreciate it.
Plus, I think LeBron's in a good spot regardless. Even if he's the third option and they win a ring, that's still going to boost him up.
For sure.
Like, it doesn't
And he's
matter.
probably one of we talked about this yesterday. He's probably one of the best third options in the league, maybe number one.
Exactly.
I say number 2 behind Chet. That's just my opinion.
I mean, I would probably say Aaron Gordon's still number 1
Aaron
because that
Gordon,
dude's just some magical stuff on the floor.
Yeah, he's crazy.
But anyways, LeBron, we'll see what happens in the playoffs when it comes to them. But should we talk about some players finally?
Some players.
I have stats.
The Lakers.
Okay,
The
yeah.
Lakers. Let's go to the man of the hour, Luka Doncic, Mr. Big Boy Doncic. This season, he's averaging 33.5 points. He is on track to get the scoring title again. 7.9 rebounds, basically 8 rebounds and 8 assists, which is 4th best in the NBA. He's averaging over a steal and a half per game on 61% true shooting, and he's 4th in box plus minus at 9.3. That's upper echelon of brilliance.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I think what we did, Jokic has like a 14.7. I think Shea's got like 11.2, something like that. It's crazy. But Giovanni, what is the one quote that I always take from Stephen A when he talks about prime James Harden?
40.
He's averaging 40.
Yeah.
Well, in his last 10 games, he's averaging just under 40 points per game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.5 steals, almost a block on shooting splits of 48% from the field, 38% from 3 on just under 38 minutes a game. If SGA didn't have that ridiculous stretch in February, the MVP race would be a lot closer than it actually is. Luka's trying to make a case, but SGA just continues to run away with it. I mean, do you think Luka's got any shot with the MVP?
How many games left we got?
A few weeks.
If they can rise up in the standings and cement like maybe second place.
Yeah, maybe, but they're very
But
far
that's
from
not
San
happening.
Antonio. It's not happening.
So top 3, yeah, I don't know. Probably
Yeah.
not.
And let's talk about Gio's favorite player, Austin Reeves.
I like him.
This season, he's averaging almost 24 points, which is top 25 in the league, almost 5 rebounds and 5.5 assists on 64% true shooting, which is 16th best in the NBA.
It's really good.
20.6 player efficiency rating, which is also top 25. And he's doing this on 26.7% usage.
Dude, I love this guy.
And he's also top 30 in win shares per 48 at just under 0.16, which is crazy in and of itself.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been seeing from Austin Reeves this season?
I mean, the stats kind of like say it all. Like, he's super efficient. And you have Luka on your team who has the ball in his hands probably like half the time.
Yeah.
And then you have LeBron on your team who also demands the ball as well, but you're still averaging 24 points a game.
Yeah.
That's
You're seeing
very impressive.
You're seeing in the clutch, he's looking off Luka
Yeah.
and LeBron and just driving. Like that game against Detroit last night. He looked off Luka, who was literally asking for the ball, and went toe to toe with Dennis Jenkins and made a ridiculous teardrop floater. Just didn't help that Jenkins did it right back to him the very next play and then hit the game winner on his face.
He did.
But you know what? It's okay. We respect Dennis Jenkins. We respect Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
That's how we roll around here.
Luka should have passed him the ball in the last shot. Did you
He
see?
should have. Luka should have just shot it before taking that extra dribble.
Yeah.
But the last thing we're going to put on the screen before we get to your general thoughts is a tweet from my guy Carson from Nerd Sesh saying the Lakers have turned a real corner. They're really competing to make the most of what they have on defense. Smart hitting shots and Ayton hustling are big swing improvements. Luka's been on fire from 3. I've been calling them mediocre all year. They're legitimately good now.
It's a good take.
So Antoine, I'm going to ask you this question. We'll kind of close the segment with this. With the Lakers, like Carson alluded to, they're making the most of what they have. We know teams like the Nuggets and the Thunder and the Pistons have all the talent in the world to be in this tier. The Lakers don't necessarily have that on all aspects. So talk just about what you've seen from that aspect specifically, comparing all the clutch stats that we saw before.
Well, yeah, of course, taking the 3 best players on the team out of account, you have guys that are towards the end of their career or just guys that are just bench guys. Of course, Smart's at the end of his career. Ayton's kind of its own special character in itself. Jake LaRavia, again, solid bench guy, not really got the rotation. Vanderbilt, same thing. These guys just are just not working out on, I guess, other teams came over to the Lakers. Still kind of the same story. But, you know, like I said, getting the best of what they have. Exactly. And like when we get to the next segment, whoever has the Lakers, their biggest weakness is their bench. And outside of the three players, who are you really relying on for any, you know, time come playoff time? Right. And hopefully Smart's in that equation. Hopefully Ayton, maybe. It's tough. I mean, like I was looking at the depth chart. I mean, even Rui Hachimura, you can't even rely on him. And like, I'm going to backtrack now to when we were talking to the trade deadline time with the Jazz wanting to take on Austin Reeves. There's no shot now you're the Lakers and you're doing that. Because if you lose AR and if LeBron goes to Cleveland, what are you left with? You know, Luka's there, but again, we saw Luka one-man show in Dallas and it didn't work until they brought all those guys over for the deadline. So again, if the Jazz are legitimately thinking about that, the Lakers should shut that down regardless. Mm-hmm. Even whoever they're getting back. I mean, if it's a big man, like if we have Lauri Markkanen talking, if we got Walker Kessler, maybe. But yet again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. It's not broken. We've seen it. If AR's healthy, it's not broken. When he's not, it is broken.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And obviously, we won't talk too much about the downsides of the Lakers because we're going to do that in just a few moments. But, Gio, do you have anything else to add on the Lakers?
I mean, that's not necessarily their weakness, but we'll get into that in the next segment.
You can have more than one.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely more than one.
I think their bench is pretty bad.
I mean, any playoff team just needs one player to show up and like one rotational player to show up. Like, and then if you get that, you're fine.
Like if I'm JJ,
you just need your stars.
If I'm JJ Redick and I'm starting Luka, Reeves, LeBron, Rui, and Ayton, I feel very confident with Luke Kennard alone off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Luke. I forgot. Oh my God.
Yeah, just one of those guys needs to show up, and they'll be okay.
You can get a good game out of him. You can get a good game out of Jake LaRavia, Rui, even like Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes was god awful last year in the playoffs. Yeah. If he even plays 10% better than what he gave you last year, it's a big improvement. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then like if Dalton Connect did that trade never happen because he was lighting it up as a rookie.
Mark Williams would have been great for this team.
Yeah,
but unfortunate. It is what it is.
I mean, listen, Mark looks fine in Phoenix. I don't know what happened last year with that. But
look, one prediction before we get to the next segment.
Yeah,
I think Ayton is going to have an outstanding playoffs.
So that concludes our talk on the Los Angeles Lakers. Ayton, I'm sorry that you're going to average like 2 points a game now.
Look, he start off the year really good. I think he's going to finish it really good.
Again, I don't see. I think so. Going back to Mark, I don't know how that trade didn't go through because Mark looks completely fine too.
Yeah. It could be a long term thing. Like the knee cartilage problem could have been a thing, but it is what it is. But let us know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on the Los Angeles Lakers? How far can they go in the playoffs? And boys, we've reached that point in the video. Are we ready to call out some weaknesses?
Let's go.
Welcome to the second half of the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's the main segment. As you can tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to go through every single NBA playoff team and reveal their biggest weakness. So this is going to be the one thing that hampers them in the playoffs and most likely will result in their elimination unless you're going up against like the Thunder when you don't have a chance to begin with. So sorry to the fans of the other 9 teams that are not, or other 10 teams that are not involved, because we're lucky. We're at a point right now where the 10 and 11 race are not close. Like last year, we had like 24 teams throughout this sort of month in our show heading into the playoffs. But now the top 20 teams are all pretty set in stone, which is good for us. So I think Gio, you're the one team or the one person that doesn't have 7 teams. So me and Antoine have 7, you have 6, and we're kind of just going to go through alternating through our teams, and we'll kind of do everything like that. So I guess the first thing I'll ask. Was there like specific things you looked for with weakness, or was there anything like you were really aiming for?
I mean, no, I think it's kind of, if we know the teams and we know what, just from the past of talking about what they need, it's kind of the same thing. If there's new things that popped up, like with teams that are like, of course, a little better, then it's probably a little different. But
the way I looked at it is because like playoff basketball is slightly different than regular season basketball.
Oh, it's very different.
It's different. So I factored that into the equation too, like what works in the regular season, what doesn't, what works in the playoffs, what doesn't. So I factored that into it.
Yeah, I also think it's important to diversify other things too. Like, is it a team related thing? Is it a player related thing?
Yeah.
Is it a coach related thing? Could be a lot of things. So yeah, I guess let's just not waste any more time. Do we have anything, other questions, comments, concerns before we dive into the first round of teams?
No, we're ready.
All right, Antoine, start us off. Just remember to mention the team so that way I can include the beautiful team overlays that I cooked up at the start of the year.
Yeah. Okay, so leading it off, this is not a short, but anyway, let's go to Minnesota. And now,
It's too cold.
before getting into the weakness, I probably would have said it's the bench, but we have Ayo coming in the deadline. Phenomenal acquisition. That is the null replacement, and hopefully they re-sign him.
Yeah.
And shout out to someone that has rejuvenated his career.
Bones,
Bones Highland.
My guy.
Just looks phenomenal. When we saw when he was in Denver with the flashes we saw when he was a rookie, I feel like it's back. And he's a phenomenal player. He went to VCU, a mid-major, and is finally, getting back his groove. Still young, too. He's like 22, 23, and I don't want to say rejuvenate his career. It's finally starting, and Bones should be back if he gets a nice deal with them. I think he's on a 1-year deal. I don't even really know.
He's on a 1-year prove-it deal. And let me also preface that everything we're seeing from Bones has been a very consistent thing.
Yeah.
But it's the mental thing, right? His mind was not ready to be on a team like Denver, where you go to a championship contending team. And remember, his rookie year was when Jamal Murray and Michael Porter weren't playing, so he was getting a lot more burn in the starting lineup. And then the year after, Jamal comes back, has the career year of his life at the time, obviously, because this year he's playing so well. He wanted minutes. He was unhappy and requested out. And things didn't work out with the Clippers, but now he's in Minnesota. So kudos to him.
Yeah, I'm glad he found his home. I was always a big fan of him when he was coming in. And, that's like how we talked about Tyler had someone that's like Lonnie Walker. Whenever you loved Lonnie Walker, like
That's
one of our
legend.
favorite players, and he's out of the league right now. Hopefully he comes back. But another guy that was really good for a little bit.
Surprise, yeah.
That's why we need expansion. So guys like that can get a contract.
Yeah, Lonnie Walker, young guy, was Spurs drafted him in the first round. Now out of the league for some unknown. Even Cam Thomas too.
Yeah.
We're not even getting into that, but
we won't.
he's not on the Bucks anymore.
Let's just know I lulled when I saw that tweet. So what's the weakness?
Yeah, I think the weakness still is the point guard, because I think Dante holds it down, but you're not looking at someone that's a playmaker. And, Io does play point guard sometimes. I mean, you can insert him into that starting lineup, but I think if you're resigning him, obviously you should, because you can have assets for him, and that's your null replacement. I think in the beginning of the year, we were talking about how Terrence Shannon and Rob Dillingham had to be the two bench guys. Realistically now, it's two different guys. One guy you got in the deadline, and another guy that just came out of nowhere and is giving you that production that Rob's now gone in Chicago, and Terrence Shannon's been injured all year, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully he comes back. Maybe he can add a spark to that team as well. And also you have guys off the bench that are a little younger, like rookies, like Jan Behringer, who's Rudy Gobert's replacement in the future. But again, the point guard still not addressed. And I know Dante is phenomenal and is one of the best players in, like, for what he does, which is, of course, 3-point shooting. He has been okay with, like, point guard duties, but I wouldn't ride him come playoff time. You want someone that's gonna play make.
Yeah.
And
he's not the guy for that.
They didn't improve on that, but I mean that doesn't really damper their shots tremendously.
I do a little bit of that.
You think a little bit?
Oh,
he
needs to be the starting point.
Yeah,
guard.
I don't think, because
you're
you're not putting in someone. It's a player like him. I mean, next year you might move him back to the bench.
Who?
Dante.
Yeah.
You bring in a point guard that's suitable, obviously. Yeah. And then Mike Conley, again, not going to prove it if you brought him back for a deal. Lonzo Ball is still out there, but we don't know what's going on with him. Cam Thomas is out there now. We don't know what's going on with him.
Remember, you can't sign anyone else for the playoffs. That deadline was already March 1st.
Yes,
so that ship has long sailed. I think Io, in 3 weeks he's been there, has proven himself already that he needs to be the starting point guard.
Yeah,
We're seeing, like, off the bench, he's giving you 16 one game, 23 another game, 19 one game. He brings the playmaking skills that he had in Chicago. His on-ball defense is just beautiful. No, don't let Antoine infect you with the phenomenalitis. You need to come up with some new adjectives. But he is a very good player, very productive. And right now, the Wolves' weakness is the conference finals. They've lost 2 in a row. They need to find a way to get over that hump. And that hopefully the point guard can be addressed. But I would either say that or Julius Randle in certain games.
I'm fine with
Randle at the point.
No.
No, Randle's a
weakness.
weakness. I don't think Randle's a weakness.
I'm not saying as a weakness. I'm talking about in the conference finals. He really needs to be consistent if they want to make the finals. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's what I nailed on. I think it's still there, but they have two guys that could still kind of hold it down, which is Io and Dante, obviously.
Yeah.
I
like Bones.
It's just Bones not a point guard.
He is.
He could be a point guard.
Oh, he is.
Bones is a point guard, yeah.
Yeah.
But I trust Io a lot more than I trust Bones.
I would trust
Me too,
Io
me
a
too,
lot
for
more.
sure.
So
Yeah.
But Bones as like a backup point guard, I'm fine with that.
it's good, yeah, because Conley's not playing anymore.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
holds
don't have
it,
an issue.
it holds it down for now, and as long as it's working, I
I
said,
don't think Devo should ever play point guard. Just gonna say that.
He's
Never again.
He's a clear
Keep
cut
him at shooting guard.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. I think Bones can play backup point guard. I think Io, even though he's a shooting guard, he can play some point guard. I think he can do it.
yeah, Io's done
Absolutely.
it before.
And he's on my fantasy team. And I love it.
This team desperately needs Max Christie.
Mm.
Totally random, but I think they absolutely need him.
Why?
They need because he's taller than Dante. He's a better defender than Dante. He could shoot just as good as Dante.
Right.
I think he's a better upgrade. I think he's a winning player. And I think
But he's not a point guard
no, I'm talking about for a shooting guard.
for a shooting guard. Okay.
Yeah, because I think I was looking at when I was watching the Mavs game last night, or whenever they played the Warriors. Prayers to Moses Moody, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been just such a good player for the Mavs since that trade.
Yeah, he is.
And he's
Yeah,
been
Max
something they
Christie.
could smile about.
Yeah.
So shout out to Max Christie.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too bad. I'm going to get into my first team.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, we just talked about the Lakers. We're going to go a little bit further away to Inglewood. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers. I think it's the first time we've started with the Clippers in any of these every team segments. And I guess the two elephants in the room could be Kawhi's looming suspension and contract termination with
Right.
the aspiration stuff. It could be the continuity because he just traded for Garland's Benedict Mathurin, who Garland's looked amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
Just
he
shot
has.
41 the other night.
nice.
Yeah.
There's one slight problem.
Okay.
You do not have an elite big man on your roster
Yeah.
anymore. Shout out Isaiah Jackson. Shout out to
Brook
Kobe.
Lopez.
Shout out Kobe Sanders. Shout out to the ghost of Brook Lopez, who is, I think he's almost 40 if he's not already.
Yeah.
It's not going to cut it. And when I look at the potential opponents you're going to have to play in the Western Conference,
Yeah.
you're looking at Nikola Jokic, who Zubats has notoriously done the best against. You're looking at Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. You're looking at Şengün. You're looking
Wemby.
at Jabari Smith. You're looking at Wet Bananas. You're Wemby.
Okay.
That's what Flight calls Wemby.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert.
You're looking at Rudy.
Yeah, it's
like
stacked.
it's starting to look a bit of a yikes. And I think the problem is because Harden left, I think that's why the Clippers took advantage of Zubats' value, knowing that you could easily get a top 3 pick or a top 5 pick with Indiana. And Zubats probably would have looked worse without James Harden there. So you had to do it, I guess, for the value's sake, because they're probably going to take away your future first round picks once the Paul George trade is complete, because it's still not done. The lack of a big man's really going to hurt them, because in that series against the Nuggets, Zubats was the furthest thing from the problem. So without a true elite center, I genuinely don't see how they can manage to do this. I'm actually going to pull up the NBA standings just for us. You're not going to see it on the screen because I don't feel like changing the graphic when I'm editing because it takes me long enough to edit the show. Right now, the Clippers would be slated to go up against the Suns in the play-in.
Oof.
So you're already dealing with Mark Williams, but
Yeah.
I think the Clippers have enough talent to get past them.
I think so.
And you'd wind up playing Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs, and you're really going to need an elite series out of Kawhi
Yeah.
to get past Wemby.
And listen, I know we're not talking about the strengths right now, but Kawhi is a hell of a strength. If he's healthy in the playoffs, watch out. That's a top 15 player all time.
Okay. You didn't even put him in your top 15.
Where'd I put him?
16.
16. Top
Yeah.
16 player all time.
So, boy, what do we think about the Clippers, though, without a big man?
I think that's
It's yikes.
yeah. I think that's I would have chose that too, because your guards are fine. You have Benedict and Darius Garland.
Yeah.
Kawhi is there.
Oh,
yeah.
and also, my fault. Prayers to Yannick Conan-Niederhauser. He's out for the year with
Oh,
a
I was-
ruptured Liz Frank.
I was just gonna talk about
Okay.
Jonas Conan Niederhauser.
That's
Yeah.
that's the one on the foot.
Yeah,
right?
that holds your arch up. If
Yeah.
it ruptures and you don't get the surgery, your whole arch collapses.
When did that happen?
About 3 weeks ago.
Really?
That sucks.
Okay, yeah. So Yannick was their pick from the last draft that they was it a
It was this year.
end of the first round they
The
drafted
very
him?
last pick, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's potentially that replacement, but he's out. So again, they have
sucks.
to address that in the offseason, what direction they're going. But yeah, there's nobody down low for them. Isaiah Jackson, we've seen on the Pacers, he's kind of a little inconsistent.
Good backup.
Brooke can't do much. I don't even know who Kobe Sanders is.
He's power forward.
Power forward, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's that. He nailed it for
Yeah,
that.
the big guys.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I really thought this team had a lot of potential moving forward because they started off so bad And then they went on this ridiculous stretch and like 30-20 in their last like however many games. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next team. I'm going to go with let's start off with the Warriors here.
Oh, your favorite team of
We're just
all
going to get them out the
time.
way because, you know,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
all.
they have a lot of weaknesses.
So, yeah, they do. First of all, I don't think they're a playoff team.
Naturally.
But let's just talk about it. So the Warriors' biggest weakness is clearly their health issues, right? So we just saw Moses Moody tear his patella, rotational player, key player defensively. We saw Curry just off and on with knee injuries this year.
Yep.
Porzingis dealing with health concerns and stuff like that. So health issues for them. And Jimmy Butler,
Yeah, I was gonna say
torn ACL. I almost forgot.
It might just be the knee.
Yeah. So besides those guys, like those are their like main players that have been in and out.
Yeah.
So besides those guys, this team is just a thrown together ragtag group of guys that are not good. Gonna be
Yeah.
honest. So that's their biggest concern. They have no one reliable to stay healthy.
I could just picture an image of Draymond shooting with his backpack on and everyone else is in the backpack
Yeah.
trying to like ride the wave. You're relying on
Draymond.
franchise cornerstone B pods
Yeah.
to lead you to the promised land. But
He's not been doing bad.
well, let's simmer down on that a little bit because he's not been bad, but he's also not been good by any means.
It's just regular.
But the problem is, well, I guess the good thing is that Steph does come back this week,
Right.
hopefully. And then,
We'll see how far Steph can take him. I think Steph is a great player.
yeah,
He's not the number one most pure scorer in NBA history. We'll get to that maybe in the future.
Another week, yeah.
Future episodes, but he's definitely a pure scorer. So we'll see how far Steph can take them this year.
I think the thing with Golden State for me is, I mean, besides the health, Steph can lead this team pretty far through his experience alone. We've seen him and Draymond do this twice now against the Kings in 23, against the Rockets in 25. So the Warriors right now are the 10 seed in the West. They're beating Portland. I don't really consider Portland a threat to the Warriors' experience. And we'll get into later why the Blazers aren't going to be, as highly as we think.
Okay.
Then you go up against the loser of the Suns and Clippers. The Clippers should win that game, so you're going up against Phoenix. And again, Steph has notoriously gotten the edge over Dylan Brooks. So I do think they'll get through. And you'll just have a nice crispy bow out to the OKC Thunder as they sweep them in 4 games.
Yeah.
And that will kind of be that. So if you're the Warriors, you have to get out of that 8 seed.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is not happening.
Exactly. And it's not.
So,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, to piggyback off you, I mean, taking on KP, you know what you're getting into. It's kind of just what the Warriors did.
he's actually been pretty decent.
I
yeah,
was
he
gonna
was
say,
he was
he's playing
okay
good.
for that first game.
When
he came
he's on the
back,
court.
yeah.
He played the
I
other
mean,
night and played good.
Yeah.
Again,
Hit 30.
Jimmy torn ACL freak way.
yeah.
Moses Moody,
Yeah.
complete freak
Yeah.
accident
The way
going
he
up.
flew out of the air.
And the angle they got of before he was covering his knee, it was separated
was
completely.
bad.
you can
It
tell
was
it's complete,
awful.
complete
But
rupture.
it wasn't torn off the bone, so it's going to be a pretty straightforward surgery,
Yeah.
the least amount of rehab possible.
Yeah. So
Not bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into
Anthony.
round 2. Antoine, who's your second team?
so I'm gonna go to Charlotte.
I love it.
So
Not a lot of weaknesses here.
no, I think the one that we kind of all probably see first off the beat is that there is no playoff experience on this team.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing going up against Miami, who we clearly have known in the past. The experience is there. They've made it to the finals as an 8 seed. Eric Spoelstra's at the helm. So I mean, they could probably get to that 8 or 7 seed. They're all close, very close to each other. That can interchange very quickly for the Hornets.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of guys in the rotation are younger. They're all rookies. I guess the only vet there you probably have is Grant Williams and Miles Bridges. And everyone else kind of is recently drafted and been a few years in the league. So again, first time head coach going into the playoffs as well, not to forget.
Yeah.
So
true,
just that inexperience. But again, I think they're one of the most exciting teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Up and coming. This is just a start for them. So again, I don't have big expectations for them playoff time. I think they're gonna dip their toes in the water. Obviously, next season if they do a lot better, I think we're gonna be having a different conversation about experience.
Yeah. What do you think, Tyler?
I think what I like about Charlotte is the way they started the year really helped them out because we saw what the Kings did in 2023. They just shot up the standings immediately, got the 3 seed, almost won their series, and then they just kind of fell off a cliff. This is going to keep the Hornets humbled. If they stay in the play-in, even if they miss it, oh well. If they get out, great. You're probably still going to lose to Boston or Detroit, but this will kind of keep them grounded, that they don't overachieve. That way they don't take a step backwards next season. That's why I'm glad the Pistons didn't really get higher than 6 last year, because if they got higher, they probably would have overachieved, take their foot off the gas, but they kind of stayed true to themselves, and now they're one of the best teams in the NBA. So with Charlotte, the stats don't lie. They are more than just a team on a heater. They are one of the best teams currently in the league,
Yeah.
based on current form, just like we saw with Indiana last year. So I think it's good for them. They don't really have a lot of weaknesses as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can't really. There's nothing glaring at me right now. Maybe inconsistencies from Brandon Miller.
And LaMelo.
LaMelo, I think LaMelo's been pretty solid. Like, if he's not scoring, he's playmaking. You know what I mean? But Brandon Miller sometimes is a little bit inconsistent with his shot. Besides that, this team is playing great.
Yeah,
So-
they'll just go as far as the road takes them.
Yeah.
There really is no end goal for Charlotte. They either could lose to the Heat in the first playing game, or they could go to the finals. I think there really is no spot for their floor or ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, not so bad. You ready to get into my next team?
Yeah, let's go.
Speaking of the devil, let's go to the Miami Heat. Let's talk about Mr. 83. Let's talk about Mr. 8 seed finals. The Heat are a very strange team still to this day. I still don't really know what they're made of. They're one of the play-in goats, although Bam has said on countless times he does not want to play in the play-in again. And I don't blame him. It's kind of frustrating to grind out games just to go up against the best team in the conference. So that's kind of what it is. Their main weakness, I would say, is they don't have a point guard. They don't have a true initiator, a true floor general, a true playmaker. You basically just shoehorn Tyler Hero into this role. And shout out Davion Mitchell. He's
trying.
He's trying, yeah. I mean, we saw him do what he did in the play-in last year.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable.
No.
And you don't want to put any of your guys in a spot that they don't want to be in. So the fact that they don't have that, I think, is truly detrimental. Because, I mean, if you look at all the teams in the East right now, the Pistons have Cade, the Cavs have Harden, the Raptors have Quickly, the Knicks have Brunson, the Hawks used to have Trae Young, they have CJ McCollum now, the Celtics have Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, the Sixers have Maxey, the Magic have Jalen Suggs, and the Hornets have LaMelo. Every single team in the East that's in a playoff spot has an elite playmaking initiator.
Yeah.
And then there's Miami. So I think that's a huge reason as to why they're in the spot they're in.
Yeah.
They've excelled everywhere else across the past few weeks except in that front. And I think that's really hurting them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it beginning of the season, though. Davion's coming back on a shorter term deal. You know, he looked really good last year. Draft Yakuchonis, at 20, it was kind of a steal at that time because Yakuchonis was supposed to be mocked to go top 10.
He was injured, I think, when he got drafted.
So maybe he turns into that. But again, you're relying on a rookie and you're kind of a playoff team. You don't want to do that. The surrounding cast they have is great. Pele Larson, Hawkins could be 6th man of the year. Simone Fontecchio. What's the meme we watched yesterday?
Airbalio.
Airbalio. Okay. We maybe see Ja Morant talks revisited in the offseason. Possible.
Would be nice.
That'll fix the problem at hand.
For sure.
But that's a future argument. For now, they have nothing at point guard.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier as well. Even if he was there, you kind of had some insurance because Terry had his experience, but Terry decided to,
do what he did.
Do what I had to do. So, again. But Spoelstra's there, and he may, I've trusted him, but only so much it can take you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I got the Hornets in that matchup. That's just me.
Unless
Bam drops 83.
Exactly. Like I've learned countless times to never pick against Miami when it feels certain to.
I get it.
Because we all thought the Bucks would rout them, and Jimmy Butler came alive.
Yeah.
But Jimmy's not there anymore. But the number one option is a guy that just dropped 83 points in a damn game. So
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. But shout out to the Heat. Won't spend too much time on them because they're the 10 seed.
Yeah.
What's your next team, Giovanni?
Next team. Should I stay in the East? I have a lot of East teams.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the Hawks.
Okay.
Hawks. We're gonna go to Atlanta. So the Hawks are playing the Knicks, as it seems right here.
I would love that
right
matchup.
now. You would love that matchup.
I love that for
the
the Hawks.
Hawks are playing great, like you said before.
One of the hottest teams in the league, bro.
Yeah.
My preseason finals pick.
Yeah. So
it's not happening.
So listen.
You said that about the Pacers.
That's not happening. The Pacers never made the finals, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
If the Hawks make the finals this year, bro, I don't know. I'm gonna sell my house that I don't.
That's
own.
insane. That'll be one of the most insane stories in the NBA.
Yeah.
Dude,
that'd be crazy.
It's not insane story of the Hawks making the finals or the insane story of me going 2 for 2.
Both.
Well, I think more, but just for the Hawks, I think that's like a zero to hero story from
'cause,
the
like,
beginning of the year.
2 for
to
2 is
now.
kind of crazy though.
Trading
Yeah.
Trey Young, especially if it's not a top seed, like the
Yeah.
4 seed last year made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah, talk about him.
So as much as I love Onyeka Okongwu, I love this guy. He's only 6'8".
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, he's only 6'8". He's their starting center. He's holding it down, but in the playoffs, they're gonna start targeting mismatches, right? And
Okay,
so
can I tell you right now?
What do you-
They have Jock Landale. That's more than sufficient.
you think Jock Landale's more? I don't think
He
so.
was-
That's a
he-
mismatch. I feel
well,
like against any
he
starting
was-
center.
He was on a very nice heater before he got traded out
So
from
when
Memphis.
I'm talking about from a defensive, interior defensive mindset, Onyeka is okay defensively, but he's only 6'8". Like if he was like
Yeah, he's not a
6'11", 7 foot, much better, right?
Right.
So they lack interior size, and that's not gonna be good come playoff time. Yeah. So
I
once
mean,
again,
yeah.
Okay.
targeting mismatches and stuff like that, that could be something that's bad for the Hawks. What do we
Okay.
think? Other than that, I couldn't think of anything else. I feel like the Hawks are playing great right now. I couldn't really see anything else
I don't really
besides
see,
No,
just
yeah.
the interior size, honestly.
Because when you get to the starting five, I again don't see anything weak as of right
Right.
now. Obviously, the bench has been fine. Kispert's been been pretty okay.
they have a
Right.
great bench. It's
Jock
pretty
is
slept on.
Jock Landale, Asa Newell, Keaton Wallace.
Asa Newell doesn't really play, does he?
No,
He should be getting a little more time.
no,
hopefully.
they got aspirations for higher. He's not playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So
he's,
the
a,
only
he's a
one
nice
that's
rookie.
the only
but
center that's really getting like
it's Jock Landale.
Is Jock Landale? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
I'm actually glad you brought that up. I didn't think you would
Yeah.
because I remember seeing reports.
Oh,
and I thought this-
Kaminga.
Yeah,
Don't
He's
forget about
not, he's
Kaminga.
not a center, though.
I remember seeing reports after the trade deadline that the Hawks were considering trading on Onyeka, and I was like, why? But that's a good point that you brought that up because even as bad of a rebounder and defender as he was, Miles Turner is 6'11",
Yeah.
and you do need that kind of player to get yourself to the finals. And I don't know the exact heights of all these guys, but Jalen Duren's way stronger
Yeah.
than Onyeka Okongwu. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are way taller and way stronger than Onyeka Okongwu.
Mitchell
Cat
Robinson.
and Mitchell Robinson, same thing. Whether it's Vucevic or whoever is bigger than him.
Mhm.
And even if you dip into the play-in, I would still favor Embiid in the first round only over Onyeka. And the Magic have Wendell Carter, who's probably the most similar of build
Yeah.
to Onyeka.
Where did you get 6'8" from?
Well, how tall is it saying on here?
Because he's not 6'8".
What does it say?
He's 6'10".
That's inaccurate, bro.
Where did you see that?
Okay, Basketball Reference and ESPN have 6'10".
Well, I saw 6'8". I remember seeing 6'8" elsewhere as well. Like,
So he was 6'8" his rookie year.
so he grew 2 inches.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was a rookie. He's like 19, 20.
Yeah, Gio, he's 25 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6'10" definitely helps, but still,
But
I'm still talking about like depth in turn.
yeah, it's not even necessarily the
height.
height thing. It's fine with
Yeah.
that because that's why they were considering trading him. They're not promising of his future.
Right.
Because I guess the
Yeah.
defensive aspect, because we know he can shoot, we know he can play make, we know he can do all of that. On the defensive end, you don't see that as much compared to someone like Jared Allen.
Yeah,
for
I get
example.
it. Because Onyeka was like a late bloomer. He was kind of on the bench ridden for a while because KP was there.
Mhm.
They moved off Capella, obviously. Capella was a Hawk, right? Am I crazy?
Last year, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
And he's kind of just come in, but he's on the 25, 26 on the end of his rookie deal. They could obviously move on from him. They don't have to re-sign him and bring in another center.
Well,
So,
you got to trade if you have to get value back
yeah,
because you can't really sign guys anymore. You're really going to need a good center to be available for you to want to do that. And I just don't know if there's going to be one anytime
exactly.
soon.
Yeah,
So
Wow, he is 6'10".
unless you
Yeah.
draft one and if they get a top pick, obviously.
right, but that player's still not going to be ready. Like when Boozer comes
No.
into the league and they wind up getting him with the Bucks pick, like you're not going to ask him to be the starting center right off the bat for a
No.
contending team. So I understand it. But even then, Jalen Johnson is big enough where
Yeah.
he can maybe shoehorn some small ball 5 minutes off the bench or whatever
Yeah,
when guys are off the bench.
I'm not concerned about rebounding. They have size overall, but
Yeah.
like when it comes to defense,
That's
interior
where
defense,
they've never been a good defensive team. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you know what? The Pacers weren't either, and they somehow managed to lock in.
true.
So
Yeah.
We got to speed it up. We're
Yeah.
at half an hour.
yeah, we're yapping. Round 3. What do we got? I mean, it's fine. We didn't do a third segment, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a shorter episode, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, let's go.
Who's your next team, Antoine?
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah.
Oh, because Gio just won. You're right.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll do a pretty straightforward one. The Thunder.
Nothing. Nothing.
I don't have anything.
Wait, actually, nothing.
No, I don't have anything.
Yeah,
Realistically,
I don't think
because
I do either.
I mean, you could have said another bench score, Jerry McCain. He came over.
I would say the
Like,
only weakness this
you know-
team has is just their post-championship health. Like J-Dub's missed a lot of games.
Yeah, J-Dub has. I was going to
Shea
say
got
that
hurt
too.
for the first time in years. Chet's
don't-
obviously
Yeah.
had injuries. Hartenstein's been in and out.
Yeah,
But it doesn't matter because they're still good.
They're still insane, and they're healthy again.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
So-
everyone's back. That's why I said. I mean,
Nothing.
if you had J-Dub still out with Chet and I mean, that's the first thing you can go to. They're all back. Even regardless, the bench is pretty good and deep, and they have those guys there. And you get in McCain, who's
Yeah.
you know, I mean, the emergence of AJ Mitchell as well. You have
Yeah.
two guys that broke out. I mean, in the same year, and you're kind of set on that bench now with Caruso, Jay Will, and
Yeah, they're
who-
stacked.
That's why I
Isaiah
respect
Joe.
Presti so much because a lot of teams have continuous problems. He just addresses those as soon as they
Instantly.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So respect to him. I think I might just put in the thumbnail a picture of SGA and the word nothing for their weakness because there's no weakness.
Yeah,
So you want me to go through we can make this like a mini speed round. I could just go
Yeah.
through my next week
we
team.
could do that.
yeah.
This is another team that's not going to make the playoffs probably. The Portland Trailblazers.
Oof.
So shout out to them. Good season. A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. I mean, I think Shaden Sharp's out for the year.
Oh no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a stress reaction. I think in his fibula or tibia or somewhere.
Stress reaction.
Stress fracture, pretty much.
Fracture.
But they
was
called
ha-
it a reaction.
He was
Okay.
having a pretty good year.
He's having a great
Yeah,
season.
he was. He was like 20, right?
Yeah.
Averaging 20.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Scoot,
over 20.
Scoot missed a while. He came back, and he's actually playing pretty
Yeah.
decent now. Denny's obviously been having back problems for the past few weeks. That's been really hindering them, and just kind of the same thing as Miami. They just don't really have that elite playmaking guard. There's only so much Drew Holiday can do at
We're
his
waiting
age.
for Dame.
Exactly. But even when Dame comes back, he's 30. He'll be 37 or 38
He's old.
on just off of a torn Achilles. You're not really asking much from him.
Yeah. Don't forget to shout out somebody on that team too. You're
Yeah,
forgetting.
oh, well, I mean,
Donovan Clingan.
but we're talking about weaknesses.
Okay,
so-
but that's the one plus is that he's finally coming.
Yes, Donovan
into that
Clingan
form.
is going to be a ridiculous player.
Yeah.
And that's someone maybe the Hawks could take a look at if the Blazers ever want to ship him out.
Oh, I would never do that. No.
If you're the Blazers, you would never ship him
If the
out.
if the Hawks were to give you 2 unprotected first round picks for Donovan Clingan, would you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, you do have
100%.
Hansan Yang. back in
100%
the-
I'm doing
in the
that.
I'm
back
100%
burners.
doing that. If you get a Walker Kessler package for him, I'll drive him to the airport.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into my next team. Speed round.
Wow.
We're going to go to the Spurs.
Again, not much.
Nothing really I can really say here except for what you said about the the Hornets. Inexperience. They're young team, but they also have some vets there too.
De'Aaron
So
Fox
De'Aaron
is
Fox,
there.
Harrison
They
Barnes.
have a champion.
They have a champion, so it's
It's
like
ridiculous.
you can't even say
They have 2 champions.
for
They have
real.
Luke Cornett.
I forgot about that dude.
Oh my gosh.
But he's not that good.
No, off the bench, he's a good backup center.
Okay, he's tall.
I remember that one playback stream we did when he had that game-winning block against the Magic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yes.
But besides that, though, the only thing I could think of is Wemby. Wemby's not the weakness. Don't get me wrong. It's Wemby. His minutes,
His conditioning.
his conditioning. That could be the only thing that might limit him in the playoffs because he doesn't play that many minutes per game in the regular season.
I think it's
So
more so his strength.
maybe it's that.
I think back to that game against Minnesota when he tried to post up Randall at the end of the game and he
Yeah.
just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it
So
could be that too.
the mileage of playoff minutes leading up to the conference finals, he might be gassed out by then.
Right. So
So-
that could be a weakness.
That's why they're just a little below the Thunder.
Yeah.
So I understand it.
All right.
All right, round 4, Antoine, who you got as your next team?
Un momento.
I'll just cut.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
We're gonna get into Orlando.
Oh, there's a lot we could cover here.
Currently, in the midst of a 6-game losing streak.
They were just on a winning streak, bro.
yeah.
They piss me off so much.
I will say Paolo has looked a lot better
Yes.
as of late. Franz is still not there. That could be the reason why he's looked a lot better, obviously, because we talk about this all the time. Again, I'm still on them for the bench. The bench is bleak. The starting 5, of course, on paper is phenomenal. Their biggest weakness, I think, is the inconsistency of their star players.
Yeah.
I know Paolo's looked great as of late. There have been some games where it's like not scoring much. Suggs has been injured. Anthony Black's been out. Franz has been out. And we know when they're together, the inconsistency. Desmond Bane's been okay. But again, he's not really moving the needle for me for that team. So, if Franz does come back, we could see the drop off in Paolo. We could see drop off in both of them, like we've always talked about, playing together. So I'm still sticking to that inconsistency with the stars.
Yeah, I think they're like bottom three, or either bottom three or bottom four in 3-point percentage, which has always been an issue for them because they've notoriously been a defensive team their whole existence. Dude, Paulo just needs to continue to lock in, and when Franz comes back, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a little sick and tired of the Magic having one of the best teams on paper in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
They're eighth.
It should be the case.
Like this is it for Jamal Mosley. Because they're not doing anything. When they lose to Philly and when they lose to Charlotte, his ass is out the door.
Yeah, he's the first guy I have getting fired at the end of the year, regardless, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they could. I mean, the East is super tight. They can move up to the 5th spot. Like the Raptors are only 2-3 games ahead of them.
Yeah,
They could, yeah.
But do you really think the Magic can beat a team like the Raptors? I just don't.
I think the Raptors are better.
Of course,
Exactly. I would take every single team in this conference except for maybe Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
It's tough because we know how good they can be. And it was kind of like the Kings. Remember, they made the playoffs for the first time a few years ago. They were the 5 seed, took the Cavs to 7, lost, and then did nothing last year.
Yeah, like the beam was 1 year and then
One and done.
gone.
So we'll see what happens. There could be some major switch ups in Orlando in the summer, just like last season when they traded for Payne.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not too bad. Ready for my 4th team. Speak of the Devil Geo. We're going to your favorite team of all time, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, there's a lot less weaknesses, I'd say, now than there was a month ago
Yeah.
before they traded for James Harden and before they traded for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. So a lot of that stuff got fixed. And I would still say the issue lies with their bigs, with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I'm still waiting for Jared Allen to finally wake up in the playoffs because I doubt you guys remember this. When he was on Brooklyn in the bubble, when we played Toronto, he went 2.5 games.
Yeah. I
Two and
remember
a
this.
half games without attempting a field goal.
That's really bad.
Really bad. And you remember that quote he had when they got eliminated by the Celtics? The lights were brighter than expected. Like, why would you say that? You're really just setting yourself
But
up for memes.
can I play devil's advocate here?
Yeah.
Why are we relying on Jared Allen for scoring?
Dude,
I'm not.
2 games, you can't attempt a layup,
Your
a putback dunk
Your
or something.
center can't. Your center can't attempt a field goal. That's one of the,
Okay.
it's one of the
Something.
easiest shots.
Yeah.
I get
And
it. Okay.
I would, in my honest opinion, that's not the biggest weakness. That is a weakness. We know him and Mobley, they have inconsistencies together on
They
the
do.
floor. And it's great that you traded for James Harden. But remember, playoffs are literally around the corner.
Yep.
And I do think their issue is going to be playoff James Harden in a tight-knit game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get
In
it.
what round?
I
Against the
do.
Raptors, they
I'll be-
blow it.
No, remember, all playoff droppers are great in the first round. Embiid is like a god in the first round.
Yeah.
But let me just ask you this. If the Cavs and Pistons are in game 7 in the second round, do you really think James Harden's going to score more than 10 points? There's no guarantee. That's
Unless-
the bad part.
You're right.
Unless he changes the narrative.
You're right.
He has to.
That's
and
it.
look, he's not necessarily in like a first option role anymore because Donovan Mitchell's going
Right.
to do his thing regardless. But I playoff Harden has scarred me in more ways than one. He put up an absolute stinker in game 7 against the Nuggets last year. And I could easily see the same thing. If you're putting Scotty Barnes on James Harden in the first round, who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
And in the second round, could you imagine what Asar Thompson is going to do to this man in a game 6 or 7 situation? That's my biggest concern with that. And it could cost Kenny his job. And I hope it doesn't because he didn't make the trade. But I think when you combine all that, I think really outside of the guys they traded for besides Harden, so Schroeder and Ellis, shout out Mitchell, shout out Jalen Tyson. I feel good about those guys. I don't feel good about the rest.
That's a deep team.
It is.
Strus
Yeah.
just
They
came
got
back
plenty of
too.
guys.
It's a deep team.
But at the end of the day, your star players are what sends you through to the later rounds. So you can get away with it in the first round. But in that second round, like we saw with the Nets in 2021, when the 3 stars went down, Jeff Green gave you one good game. No one else gave you anything else for the rest of the series. And that same thing could happen with with the Cavs.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell could drop 50 and this team could still lose. And that's my biggest concern is playoff Harden.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next team is we're gonna go back to the Lakers again. This could kind of be like speed-ish
A
because
little
we
bit,
kind of
yeah.
talked about them already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as much as I'd like to say LeBron James is their biggest weakness, that is not the case.
Breakthrough, let's
Bro
go.
has been playing really good basketball. I saw one game he put up 37 points, 13 of 14 from the field.
Yeah.
So he's playing great basketball right now. But that's because he's the third option. I'm not going to get into it right now. But the Lakers' biggest weakness is their defense. I know we just saw a bunch of stats where we're saying, you know,
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better, this and that. But if they revert back to old habits, which is very, you know, it's likely. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
If they do that, yikes. Because I saw a stat where they were, I think it was like 29th in defensive rating before those previous 9 games. With what fully healthy team, like that's really bad for a team in the playoffs. You cannot be that low on the defensive scale. So
Exactly.
yeah, so do not go back to old habits for the Lakers.
I mean, what we said, what it's whatever JJ is working with, and the guys on the team, you know, are looking good right now, but it completely come down on them come playoff time.
Yeah,
You know,
matchups
'cause
too.
We don't trust Ayton, a majority of the time. Same thing goes with Rui. Same thing goes with Vandy.
Yeah,
Same thing goes with.
but I'm
other
talking
guys.
strictly defense right now, right? So
Well, I know,
Luka
but the big guys
has never been a defensive guy.
Oh yeah,
Reeves has never
Same
been a
thing.
defensive guy.
Marcus Smart's our only guy.
LeBron's 41 years old.
Marcus Smart's our
You
only
know what
guy.
I'm saying? Like I said before, matchups is everything. So we saw against the Nuggets pressured Austin Reeves every single time. They drove directly at him. Now, if a team does that again, yikes, man. Like, what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, here's
that's
the
all.
deal. You look at a lot of the teams in the West, OKC, Minnesota, San Antonio, good defensive teams.
Yeah.
I just looked at the teams they played during this ridiculous win streak stretch. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Golden State, Sacramento,
Oh, no.
New Orleans, Denver, Indiana twice, the Knicks, then the Wolves, Chicago, Denver again, the Rockets twice, Miami, Orlando, and then a cadeless Detroit who they lost to. They've been playing some pretty bad defensive teams, and they're
Right.
beating Indiana right now, who are trying to lose.
Right.
So, like Carson said, they're working with what they have.
Yeah.
And that can only take you so far. And it could flame out in the first round or in the second round. They'll probably get past Houston, but you're going up against San Antonio in the second round or a red hot Kawhi Leonard. No.
Yeah.
Not happening.
I think LeBron needs to put all of his energy into defense for this team to succeed.
He needs to
I
put all
truly
his
believe
energy
that.
in the second half of games.
Yeah, that too.
That's the most
That
important
too.
thing.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
not bad. All right, we have 3 rounds left. Antoine, who's your 5th team?
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep this kind of relevant to what Gio was talking about. We're gonna go to the Suns. So right now, you know, they're sitting 7th, obviously. So right now, the biggest weakness, echoing Tyler when he did his previous teams, they're big men. Because as of right now, Mark Williams is out with an injury. And, you know, a la Lakers, obviously, we talked about that before. But their backups, we know they drafted Kamal Malawach, but he's not played significant time at all this season. And that's a rookie center. You have another guy behind him, Rasheer Fleming, another rookie, more of a power forward. And you're starting Oso Iguodala, who's not a center.
Mhm.
And another guy that's probably he's a second-year guy, I think, right? Second or third?
Did you
another
He
young
hasn't
guy.
been bad though.
Did you see
He's
what
not.
Did you see what Jokic did to him last night?
Okay, it's Jokic, bro.
But did you see what he did?
What'd he do?
He had 20, 17, and 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oso is not a center, proven. It's been proven. Mark is obviously.
I think Malawach has shown flashes.
He hasn't gone.
he's
But
a
he's
he's a
not-
project pick.
He's a project pick, but
pick.
he's shown you flashes, but he's not going to
Yeah.
fully step up into that role this year.
Not right away, obviously, but he's getting the garbage time minutes at most.
Yeah.
The minutes have gone up recently. At the beginning of the season, he was getting under 10 minutes. Now it's been above 10 minutes.
Yeah. So he's getting a little
but
bit
I
more
like
time.
Malawach. He's
Yeah, I like him.
great. He's 7'1" guy, 19 years old.
He's
Only
athletic.
going up very much. We saw him with Cooper and Khan, what he did. He'll only improve, and that'll be your replacement for Mark, obviously, once he gets to that point where he can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So, but the big men, I'll go into the playoffs when you have Oso Iguodala
Yeah.
and Royce
Yeah,
O'Neal.
solid take. Yeah.
No
That's
Dylan Brooks either until
Yeah. No
you know,
Dylan Brooks.
That's a
he
bad
comes back
that's a
from his
that's a
injury.
bad sign because I feel like he was the one really helping them out both from 3-point range and on the defensive end. And again, There's only so much Devin Booker and Colin Gillespie can do.
But yeah, shout out Gillespie.
Gillespie's a
Yeah.
dog.
Shout out Jalen Green too.
He's
looking
playing great.
a little.
He's playing a lot better.
better.
Yeah, and also whatchamacallit, Booker's having one of his best seasons ever, and it's just
Quietly.
not talked about enough. Exactly.
Jalen Green, a la like Franz Wagner. With if Dylan Brooks come back, we could see Green completely drop off again.
I doubt it.
Because the scoring is now diverse back to Dylan Brooks, who's having an all-star season.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
A lot to kind of unpack with the Suns. I feel like they could kind of do anything. Right now, they're slated to play the Clippers for the 7 seed. I do think they can beat the Warriors or Trailblazers if they lose that game, but you'd much rather go up against an inexperienced Spurs than the defending champion OKC Thunder with the MVP and everyone else that they have
Yeah,
that could very well win an MVP if they were on a different team.
yeah. Shout out Jordan Ott.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I didn't think
Coming
they made
in
the
like
right
that.
decision when they hired him, but I think I ranked him pretty low in my rankings.
I had him pretty high.
He's easily a top 15 coach in the league. He's that good.
He's doing good.
So shout out to the Suns. You ready for my next team?
Yeah, let's go.
So speaking of Jalen Green, we are going to the Houston Rockets.
This is gonna be interesting.
This was by far the most confusing one that I had because they have a lot of issues. So like, you're looking at you're looking at the lack of a point guard, you're looking at group chats. There's just a lot that the Rockets have problems of. You're looking at Şengün, who's been pretty freaking average as of late.
Yep.
Hasn't been great on defense, hasn't been great shooting the ball, but I think it's a testament to the whole entire offense. This offense in the half court set makes me want to just gouge my eyes out. It's so hard to watch because again, it's just like when KD was on the Nets. It's ISO ball, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
There's no movement. You have guys in this team that are so athletic. Have someone slash to the basket. I remember there was a clip in game 1 of the finals in 2023. Jamal Murray went to the elbow on a pick and roll, passed it back to Jokic. Before he even touched the ball, MPJ was already cutting to the basket, and he got a wide open layup out of it. You have athletic players on this team. Amen Thompson is one of the best slashers in the NBA. Tari Eason is just as good. Well, not as good as Amen, but just as good of a
Slashing,
slasher.
Yeah.
It should work in theory. But without a point guard, without Fred VanVleet running the offense, it's very stagnant. It's very shaky, and it's so clanky. And like you said, playoff basketball is so different compared to regular season basketball. The Rockets are already the slowest team in the NBA and already have a horror show offense. When
They're the slowest team.
second slowest.
I did not know that.
When you get to the playoffs, the possessions slow down even more.
Yeah.
And what's that going to look like? It's going to look terrible. It's painful to watch.
Yeah.
And I have real concerns, but I want to know what you guys think.
Hopefully Reed Shepherd. I mean, he's been playing good,
A lot better.
but hopefully he really steps up big time. They're going to need it badly. Badly. Point guard plays huge in the playoffs. We know that. So he needs to step up big time. Besides that, I feel like I expect more from Ime.
Yeah.
I expect more from him. You don't have a point guard, right? So this is where the coach should really shine and show you how good of a coach you are. And he's been doing like a regular job, like an average job. So I
Yeah.
expect more from him. I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, if I'm being honest right now, I think the experiment of this team with KD is going to end in the offseason. I think they're going to get kicked out of this playoffs really early, and I think they're going to move off of 2 guys. I think Şengün and Jabari Smith will get moved, and that's going to be because Giannis is going to come in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
That's
I think
the reports.
And I think Giannis is going to come because, again, the guards they have are so much more promise right now compared to Jabari Smith and honestly Şengün as well, even though we talk about how highly great he is. It's just a lot of weaknesses. You can bring in Giannis. Giannis fills in that 4. Steven Adams comes off the bench. You can fill in the center as much needed. You roll Houston with Giannis and KD and up and coming guards. I think you got a shot next year and until KD calls quits. And then Giannis is there.
It's going to be so weird to see KD and Giannis because it's going to be straight ISO ball, but
They were mortal
completely
enemies.
different styles of ISO.
Yeah.
Giannis is going straight at you and dominating. KD's being super efficient and pure from like mid range.
I don't like it.
It's weird.
I don't like it. Everywhere KD goes since he left the Warriors, a third star gets traded for that isn't needed.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
didn't. The Nets obviously you'd make the trade for Harden, you'd make the trade for Beal, but like It's not necessary to gut your future. It just doesn't make sense.
Kevin
to me.
Durant needs.
I think that the good thing with the Rockets is that I think the future is Reed and Amen. I don't think it's Jabari and Şengün.
I don't even think it's Reed.
I don't think it's Reed.
The future is just Amen Thompson.
I think Reed Shepherd is in there for sure. Come on.
I don't know if I mean
When I'm talking,
he's not a franchise guy.
When
but
I'm
he
talking about the future, I'm talking about a franchise player, someone that's going to be an all-star multiple times. I don't even think Amen can make it multiple times,
Yeah, I
but
don't
he's the only one that has that potential.
Yeah.
So you really got to make the penny on the dollar.
Yeah.
If you are going to trade Şengün,
Even if,
I think. Look, listen.
but even
Kevin
when-
Durant needs an elite point guard to play next to in order for
Van
him to
Vliet's
be
coming
successful. Van Vliet's not elite.
oh, I think
He's serviceable.
He's very good, but I don't think he's upper echelon a la Cade Cunningham.
In order for this Rockets team to have any sort of contender talks around them, they need an elite point guard. Maybe not elite, but a really good point guard. They need that.
At this point, you might need
get
an
it.
elite one. That's kind of the problem.
I feel like the Rockets guard room right now, when Beverly comes back, is fine because you got guys there. The front court right now is the biggest issue because Jabari Smith, again, has not panned out to what they thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Şengün, we've seen from the burners, obviously, if that is KD, which we, of
Can't
course, have like 95% possibility it is him.
Yeah.
And what's going on there. And Giannis coming in solves a lot of issues. And then you can compensate for center with Steven Adams, of course, and bring in somebody else, of course,
Yeah.
in the market. And
It's
you go
tricky.
from there. But even though if you trade Şengün and Jabari to Minnesota, Miles Turner becomes expendable. Maybe
Milwaukee.
you take Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you get MT back, but that solves your center, of course, as well. But
I don't know if that necessarily does. He's basically the opposite of Steven Adams. He can shoot really well. He can't defend and he can't rebound.
Yeah.
Steven Adams shoots like crap, can rebound the hell out of the ball, and is a good defender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't know
but
if necessarily. I think I'd honestly just start Steven Adams. At that point.
I agree.
well, I would too, because then you can't keep Şengün because Şengün goes regardless to Milwaukee.
Yeah, you have to. But
Jabari Smith
they
doesn't
could
really
also
get you done.
But they could also ask Reed Shepherd. Maybe you could try and pry Ryan Rollins away.
No way.
But
No.
there's no way they do
No,
that.
no,
Again,
no,
I think
no.
the Rockets are screwed regardless.
Yeah.
They kind of got to hope for the best here, but don't pull a Knicks. The Knicks should have at least done their due diligence with Julius Randle when he was healthy.
Yeah.
They need to figure out how this works with Fred VanVleet when he comes back.
Yeah.
Don't pull the trigger in the offseason.
They just gotta hope Amen and Reed Shepherd are really good or end up being really good. That's all. That's all they can do right now.
If you go Fred, Amen, Jabari Smith, KD, or KD, Jabari Smith, Şengün, with Reed Shepherd off the bench, I like the routes.
The thing about is that waiting for VanVleet, KD could force their hand to trade Jabari,
and that's what I'm
Şengün.
scared of. that's
Easily.
what I'm worried about.
KD.
So
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the next team.
Yep.
Let's talk about the Raptors. Okay. So the Raptors have a great defense.
amazing defense.
Great defense. But their offense is mid. Mid at best. Okay. So they lack playmaking. They lack shot creation in the half court. They're going to struggle in the playoffs if that's the case. Like you said, the game slows down. It's going to turn into a half court game. If you can't score in the half court, you're cooked.
Exactly.
Right? So they don't really have that. They have a good coach. Their system is good. They can score within the system. But when, playoffs are close games, clutch moments and stuff like that, the system kind of goes out the door and it turns into like kind of like ISO ball. It's kind of what it turns into.
Yeah.
They don't really have a go-to guy really that can, hit those shots. Maybe Brandon Ingram.
Oh, I
right?
think absolutely Brandon
That's
Ingram.
only Brandon Ingram.
But
Exactly.
like besides him,
But
like there's no one there.
That's where, as much as I love Scotty Barnes, that's where it hurts that your second option's not the greatest offensive player.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
where the
right.
problem lies. So the
Right.
Raptors, if they were to trade quickly, for example, or if they were to trade anybody, you have to get someone that obviously can, like someone like Nikhil would have been perfect for Toronto,
Yeah.
but that's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
listen, I saw this firsthand when Quickly and RJ on the Knicks. They are not. They can score, but they are not consistent scorers whatsoever.
Yeah.
RJ and Quickly frustrated Knicks fans so much every game because
Yeah.
it was just lackadaisical. Like RJ didn't seem like he was locked in at all. Quickly was. He was all over the court, but the sporadic shooting was not efficient for us, and it's translated to Toronto. And those guys are not your prototypical scorers that you're going to rely on because of how they play. BI, we know how he plays. He's a straight up scorer, Slenderman himself.
that's
coming
KD.
back from his. I
He's
mean,
baby
BI is
KD.
Slenderman.
Baby
too.
Katie.
It's a
Okay.
baby
Yeah.
slender man.
And
yeah.
Scotty has not transformed his offensive game yet. So
He's still
he
developing.
should.
I don't think he needs to
can.
necessarily.
I don't think so either.
I think it could turn into a situation like LeBron, where on the offensive end, he needs to be the third option, but they don't have someone better than him offensively right now besides
Right.
BI.
Right.
Yeah.
Now here's
get
what
that.
Fetty said. Fetty, we all know Fetty. He's
Yeah, shout out Fetty. He's a friend of the show.
I don't know who
big
that
time.
is.
You don't know who it is? All right.
Who is it?
We're gonna find out right now. Big time Raptors fan.
Yep.
He says their biggest weakness is fourth quarter offense. He says beyond Ingram. What did he say? He typo. Hold on. we also have a lot of people who can get picked on defensively, especially quickly in RJ. So that's what he said.
It seems like
And that's a good point.
It seems like the Raptors are missing someone that we know solves everything like that, who they had for a year, and now he's in the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got a top 16 player of all time,
Okay.
I think Kawhi solves every issue we just talked about.
yeah, of course.
you
dude.
re-sign him
I mean,
back.
he's Kawhi Leonard, but all I'm saying is this is the problems they have right now.
Yeah.
They have no one to go to in the fourth quarter, and then defensively, there's certain guys that can get
Look,
picked on a little
all
bit.
I'm going to say is that if the season ended today, Harden and Donovan Mitchell are licking their lips looking at the Raptors right now.
100%.
They are. They are very
100%.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about a team that's just, I mean, on paper looks great, but is just getting by with what they have, and it's working because
The
again,
Raptors, you're saying?
yeah, the Raptors,
Yeah.
because you have
Yeah.
guys that are, I mean, they're all on paper great, but some are very much, you know,
Like if you're playing a drop coverage with
Not supposed to
Jakob
be that
Pertl,
good.
if you're playing a drop coverage with Jakob Pertl's bad back, and you get out, and they're switching everything, and you have Harden on an island with Emmanuel
Yikes.
quickly, just
Yep.
just go back down the other end and give them the 2 points. Like it's not even going to be a
Here,
challenge.
look, I'll just say this to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think the Raptors are a year away from being a year away from contending.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
a year away from a year away would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about 2 pieces away.
They're
I would
gonna
say.
have to
Yeah.
reshuffle. I think, obviously, some starting five moves had to be made. For
And I
that.
think you're really going to need a serious year 3 leap from Colin Murray Boyles for this to even be
Year
a
2.
no.
Who
in
I think
2
is good.
years.
Oh, in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's good.
He needs to
Oh,
take
he'll
a-
be
because
good.
year 2 he'll still get settled. He could hit a slump, but year
be
3 is the most important year for him, which where this Raptors team will be.
Yeah.
So, all right, the penultimate round, the last round for Gio. Antoine, who's your 6th team?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to Philly. This is more of a recent weakness because of Tyrese Maxey's injury to his pinky.
Okay.
He's a tendon injury in his right pinky. It's strained. He's out for 3 weeks. And again, VJ Edgecombe now moves to point guard where he's not really a point guard.
He's averaging
And,
30 now playing.
and-
He is, though, almost.
And
He had a good game the other night.
A few games in a row.
you can kind of, I don't want to say this is karma for trading Jared McCain away, because again, that would have filled in that spot very much easily.
Yeah.
And VJ is not, again, a point guard. Quentin Grimes is a regular shooting guard. They signed Campaign, who dropped 35 a few weeks ago or last week, whatever, but it's Campaign. So again, as of right now, the weakness is the point guard.
Fair.
Because Maxey, we don't know if he's going to come back. Even if he does, that pinky could get re-injured because it's his shooting hand. And we know how Maxey plays as well.
Yeah.
So again, and then the injury happened in the last 15 seconds of the game where he collided with Adam Bonner, and that happened, and they lost the game.
I would say overall health concerns because Kelly Oubre is in and out. Joel Embiid gets like 20 minutes
exists.
a game.
I know, I get it, but Embiid, we know that's going to happen. Maxey, we didn't
Right,
know.
That's a good
Oubre
point.
too has been all year.
Yeah,
Maxey's
all
been
year.
fine.
Yeah.
So again, VJ going into the point. VJ, how great he is, he's not a point guard.
He's
We
not
know
a
that.
point guard.
No.
and we know
He's
that.
definitely a score first type of guy. I
He's
feel
a two guard.
He's a 2-3.
If
In
you-
college,
if-
he played the 3.
If McCain was still there, then the point guard's not a weakness because that we saw McCain what he did prior to the injury last year.
Right.
It would have been it probably would have been back to Embiid or
Yeah.
Oubre.
I got to watch a
But
few games, honestly. I
McCain-
think VJ could do it, though.
Not from
No,
the playmaking perspective.
VJ
Like
not-
facilitate, you don't think
No,
so?
No.
VJ's
I
not a
think
point
he can
guard.
run an offense.
He's more. I'm not saying he can't, but he's more of the kind of guy like the 2 guard that is very ball dominant. I don't really trust him as much to make those plays. I expect him to be an ISO scorer, like an elite level of that. But
He can play within an offense, though. Like, he can do
No,
make the right play.
there's a
and
difference.
stuff
There's a
like that.
difference between playing within an offense and leading your team to a championship.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I don't think he's ready for
100%,
that.
Yeah.
But look, what's the opposite of sunshine?
Rain.
Darkness.
Rain, darkness, clouds. When you take my sunshine out of the Philadelphia 76ers, what are you left with?
Thunderstorm.
Exactly.
There
To
you
me,
go.
this is really insane karma because the Thunder getting Jared McCain is the greed they talked about in the Bible, but it was Daryl Morey who basically gave him away. It was Daryl Morey who cut Isaiah Joe in 2022, and the Thunder just picked him up for nothing. So Daryl Morey has done a lot of bad, mishandled the Harden situation. That trade was terrible.
Yeah.
There's a lot I could really say about the Sixers. They've handled the past 15 years atrociously bad.
Moving on from Jerry McCain that easily is
Year two.
is malpractice,
Oh my
and
God.
sending him to the only team that we probably would have not wanted to see him on because we know he's going to pop off is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It was like when Jazz
So-
Chisholm went to the Yankees. Like, I love Jazz, but I can't stand the Yankees. I can't stand the Thunders because they're just so successful, but it's my sunshine.
Yeah.
He's so freaking good.
It's love hate. It's love hate.
Yeah. But Maxi's injury could be the reason why he wins the championship in fantasy because Kev has Maxi.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Kind of clutch.
But he
Even though
just
I love
but he just
Maxey.
picked up Dennis Jenkins.
Yeah,
That's-
for now.
So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. The championship is on. Well, the championship will be over by the time this comes out,
Yep.
but we'll maybe update you guys next week on,
Yeah.
or if we stream. Are you ready for my penultimate team?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, we're going to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball. I don't want to be boring because
Don't say the point guard.
no, it's not really the point guard. We've talked about the lack of a second shot creator for about
Yeah.
2 years now. That Cade needs some help, and I think I can confidently say Dennis Jenkins will be fine in the playoffs this year. I think they're a floor second round team. Their ceiling is winning the championship, I'd say, obviously, because they're the 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
However, their biggest weakness right now is going to be the status of Cade Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned in the previous segment, it's one thing to play after a sprained ankle. It's one thing to play after a strained hamstring. We've seen Gordon do it. It's one thing to have any sort of injury, even a broken leg coming back from that. We're dealing with a collapsed lung here. This is a life-threatening thing. This is bigger than basketball. One of those injuries where it's pretty scary, where we complain about Wemby's conditioning all the time. I can't even imagine what Cade's is going to look like with a respiratory injury. You know, he took a knee to the back and it collapsed his lung. And you have to be 1,000% good to go to play after an injury like this.
Yeah.
And that is your best player. That is your offense. That is your sunshine in Detroit. Even though it's Jared McCain, he's our sunshine. Cade is their sunshine. And without Cade Cunningham, I don't like the ceiling of this team at all. I think a team like Charlotte could easily knock them out in the first round if he's not playing.
Wow.
That's how worried I am with Cade Cunningham. Because before this, the Pistons were an easy shoo-in for at least the conference finals. And now things get a little more interesting.
Yeah, I think Tyler's point is valid beyond belief. I think, the biggest injuries we can have in sports besides torn ACLs are completely just injuries to our main organs in our body. And we talked about the blood clot issue we had over time. Wemby went through it. We had Cam Whitmore. We had Asar Thompson. Those are injuries to that. Huh?
Dame.
Oh, Dame, yes.
Yeah.
Those are injuries that are very life-threatening as well because blood flow is part of natural human body, and so is breathing. And we do
I
it
didn't know that.
literally, oh my God, health lesson for me. And Cade, he plays a sport that's very much, lung induced, your
You gotta breathe.
so much
Yeah, you have
going
to
on
You gotta
with
breathe
basketball.
In basketball, yeah.
So again, Cade the person is the priority right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Cade the basketball player.
I just wanted to look at this really
So-
quickly though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually curious what a collapsed lung actually is, and I just looked
What
it
it
up.
looks
It
like?
says it occurs when air leaks into the space between the lung and the chest wall, causing pressure that prevents the lung from expanding,
Yep.
resulting in severe shortness of breath and chest pain. So I looked up what they have to do. All they do is they insert sort of tube to release the air from that area, but there's still a recovery that has to take place to regain full
How are you?
deep breaths and stuff like
So you're
that.
telling me you're putting a tube down your throat?
I'm not sure how they do the surgery.
I
Maybe,
don't
maybe,
wanna know.
maybe it's invasive. Maybe you're going. Yeah, I don't know. I have no
Okay.
idea. But
No
that's
idea.
what they're saying. If it's a severe collapsed lung, that's what they do. If it's not that severe, it'll heal on its own.
Right.
Not sure his severity.
Hopefully it's not too severe.
Yeah.
But again, you look at it where, let's just say you have a broken wrist. You could still get conditioning on the treadmill.
Yeah.
But this is like your breathing problems. Like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a big concern moving forward for Cade.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some updates on how he's doing.
Oh, look,
and
the
all that.
Pistons just got their 20th loss because it changed from 19 to
Oh,
20.
yeah?
Oh, so they just lost.
Who did they lose to?
Let's find that out right now. Pistons game.
Just changed from 19 to 20.
They lost 130 to 129 to the red hot Hawks.
Oh, wow.
They're going to the finals, baby.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, they went out
Let's
41
go.
and
What did
30.
Onyeka do? I'm about to lock his game in.
Wait, so are they ahead of the Raptors if I refresh the page?
They should be.
No,
Oh,
not yet.
They should be.
I'll pull it up right now for you, Gio. But while we do that, get into your final team.
Yeah. So my final team is the Boston Celtics. Their biggest weakness is time. Why? Because Jason Tatum is back, but he's not fully back yet. And so what they're racing against time because they need Jason Tatum to get fully back. I'm talking about conditioned. I'm talking about chemistry. I'm
The
talking about
build up.
The build up. Yeah. So they need him to be fully back, right? So they kind of want more time, right? For Jason Tatum to get fully back. So they're really racing against time right now. He missed 62 games this season. So kind of getting back into the rhythm of the offense and all that stuff, getting a shot. It looks like his shot is fine. Is pretty good.
Looks good.
It
Hasn't
looks
lost a
good.
step.
Don't get me wrong, but conditioning wise, physicality wise, he has to get back into that confidence wise. Going off, he just tore his Achilles. You have to regain your confidence and all that, physicality and all that. Also, Jaylen Brown after the Minnesota game, he talked about physicality being a weakness. So there's one right there. I don't even have to look at it. Jaylen Brown said it himself after the game against Minnesota.
It's a good source.
Physicality is one of their weaknesses, and so it's good that he knows that so they can address that. Other than that, this Celtics team looks pretty good.
They look very good. Also, Onyeka had 11 and 4. So don't lock that in.
Yeah.
But look, the Celtics look, in my opinion, besides OKC, I feel the best about them.
Yeah.
Just as a whole. Tatum looks so
He looks
good.
good.
bro.
He didn't lose a step.
Dude, I'm so excited to see Tatum back
Didn't lose
because
his step.
His shot looks good.
I am one of Tatum's biggest defenders of all time. I know last week I mentioned that Isaiah Thomas is the second most underrated player in NBA history. He's number one. I truly don't think there's a player looked over and hated on more than Jason Tatum. And it's actually kind of crazy. And I think what we're about to see from him in the playoffs this year is really going to prove that. Whether he wins finals MVP or not, he just tore his Achilles.
Okay.
It's incredible what he's going to do regardless. And looking kind of at the rest of the lineup, they did lose a little bit of dog from the previous teams. No Drew Holiday, no Marcus Smart. So it's a natural thing, but
Al Horford.
Derek White's no slouch. Peyton Pritchard's no slouch. These are all guys that are just a little bit smaller, but they're mighty. That's kind of how I would describe it. I always describe Trae Young as a little engine that could, because that's just kind of the best way to describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, if there's one person that can instill dog in this team, it's Joe Mazzulla.
That is very
my
true.
God, dude.
I love Joe.
I was locked into watching his responses to reporters.
I love him.
It is one of the
he's amazing.
I could be locked into his just because what he says in the it's just like it's like what it's like this person exists like
Like knock knock, who was there, bro?
yeah like there's no emotion. He's great. I love him.
I love Joe
him.
Mazzulla.
There
He's
was one game where there was like a really bad illegal screen that wasn't called, and every question they asked, illegal screen.
Yeah, and then wait, some reporter asked him. He's like, He's like, they asked him like, how do you like the new city uniforms? He's like, they're nice. I like them. And he's like, what do you like about them? They say Celtics. Next question.
I
Joe.
love him, bro. He's
I'm telling
great.
you, man.
So
I've always been high on Joe. But
Yeah, you actually have. So
Yeah.
you've actually known that from the beginning.
And then
I have.
another one was they were asking him, so is Jason Tatum practicing today?
Yeah.
Is he practicing? He's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, something like that. But
I love his responses.
it's funny
Yeah.
and that's
And
hilarious.
I notice a lot of JJ Redick's mannerisms have been learned from Joe Mazzulla.
yes.
To say he
yeah.
tries to be it, but like
It's
Joe-
not the same.
Joe Mazzulla makes it look cool. JJ Redick just looks like he has anger management problems.
does.
That's just kind of how it
He
is.
does.
Yeah, but
No.
Tatum came back in a shorter time window for the Achilles, and he's doing well. And
He's doing good.
shout out to him for
He's doing
getting
good.
through that injury a lot quicker than
Yeah.
And
anticipated.
we'll see Vucevic back in the first round.
Yeah,
So,
and Luka Garza's been holding it down too.
yeah,
Shout out Luka Garza, Kata.
they
That
should have kept.
center
They
room
should have
is
kept.
great.
They should have kept Minnow, but
Oh,
that's
they
besides the point.
should.
We'll also see Paul George came back tonight too. So
Oh, wow.
for Philly,
Yeah.
we'll see if he adds any value.
Yeah.
All right, Gio, you are done with your teams. Unfortunately, there's no 7th team in the final round for you. Me and Antoine still have 2 more to go. So, Antoine, who's your last team? Oh, it's the Knicks.
Of
So we're gonna go to my team.
course, he saved it for last.
Yeah.
So right now, the biggest weakness is a certain player. Certain player that came from Tyler's team that has been stinking up this whole team like a black cat. The one that ran through MetLife, you remember that? The one that ran through MetLife?
Oh, the black cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the Cubs game back in the day?
It's come to the Knicks now. Okay. It's in the Knicks locker room.
Who was this player?
Okay.
I can't think of.
Okay.
Oh, Mikal.
Someone that's
Bridges.
always smiling and looks like he's happy, and we're not, and he looks everything's okay, and it's not okay because
Yeah.
he's dropping 5 points in the last 5 games and finally just got 10 points yesterday for the first time in like 2 weeks or whatever around. Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Okay, off the team tomorrow morning, gone, because that team. High
How many picks?
five. According to Stephen A. Smith, it's 7.
Oh, yeah, because the 2nd round pick. Yeah.
Stephen A. today was because Josh Hart apparently defended him this week.
Yeah.
Love Josh Hart, but I'm sorry. Like, can you forget your Villanova Brotherhood for a second?
No.
And put it
You can't.
aside
No, you can't.
and just say that this man is not playing great because you had somebody there that
So you want Josh Hart to say, "Yeah, Mikal Bridges sucks."
no,
No.
because
That's wild.
and you
That's
know who's the blame for this? It's Jalen Brunson, because he wanted to get the band together, and Mikal was,
Fair.
I guess, the preference over Dante, but Dante came in and proved he deserved 40 points in like the first couple of games in the season. Like the opener, the first one is of the season 2023. When he came over the first game, he had 27 points. The Garden loved him. He was feeding off the energy. I love that guy to death because he's also Italian. But I love the energy. He was the 2 guard. He was our 2 guard. Gets shipped and bringing this guy. The energy's completely gone from that 2 guard. And that's kind of it. We lost our good amount of our picks in the future. We have our pick this year,
That
but
sucks. That actually sucks. Feels
for
bad,
what? For what?
Feels
Literally. And I think that's Leon Rose's biggest mistake, and it is a fireable offense, if I'm
should
being
be.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no player for that caliber dropping less than 10 points a game is worth 5 first-round picks in actuality.
Yeah.
And that's why Leon Rose also has not spoken to the media in like 2 years because he doesn't want to face this issue and
his
also the
mistakes.
media.
It's not even that, though, because that's not the reason why he went for 5 first-round picks. Mikal Bridges was not available for trade.
Yeah.
So the Knicks kept
Forced to.
pushing and pushing for offers. And Leon Rose blew Sean Marks away with the final offer he gave him. You couldn't say no. Like, the Nets had absolutely zero intention of trading for him. I have multiple sources confirming that within the Nets.
They didn't want to trade him.
The Nets had absolutely no intention on trading Mikal Bridges. But when Leon Rose gave Sean Marks that offer, dear God, you cannot say... If the Nets had turned down that package for Mikal Bridges, I would have crashed out because we turned down the exact offer the season prior from the Memphis Grizzlies. We were able to flip Mikal Bridges after the KD trade. They offered us 5 first-round picks and 3 swaps for Mikal Bridges, and we said no. So looking back on it now, that was crazy. So the Knicks bailed us out.
Yeah.
But we always like to talk about Dennis Schroeder when it comes to fumbling the bag. Cam Thomas is another name now that comes down to this. If the Knicks don't wind up winning a championship and this team flames out and blows it up in the next few years, if Jalen Brunson did push for these trades to happen and he left $113 million on the table to extend this year to give them cap flexibility,
For Mikal Bridges.
boy, oh boy, are we going to have some discourse. But we're going to talk about the present day right now, this current team.
Yeah.
The problems are a lot deeper than Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's him.
Yeah.
Well,
He's not helping though.
He's definitely not.
Well, that Mikal is a more recent problem. If I'm going to get the problem, I think it's still the bench, if I'm being honest.
I think it's still Cat, but
No, Cat's been better.
no, I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Okay,
Playoff
fair.
cat. Yeah.
I mean, also,
Bodega
if I'm
Cat.
being honest, the biggest issue in itself is the team, and I'll tell you why. Okay,
The team is the weakness.
That's music to my ears.
I'll tell you
Dude,
why.
you're a Knicks fan, bro.
Hold on. Can I
Go,
just
go,
get
go,
into
go.
this talk here because I have info that
Yeah.
you don't know.
I'm sorry.
So, and I'll tell you why Mikal Bridges is also the problem because
Yeah.
the biggest advocate for getting Tom Thibodeau fired was indeed Mikal Bridges because he was not utilizing him. Mike Brown comes in. You're looking incrementally worse under Mike Brown. Same thing goes with Josh Hart. They're talking about playing me to the ground. Mike Brown comes in. It's kind of the same story. Still playing. Mikal's getting worse. Josh Hart, they're kind of blaming Mike for a little bit of the inconsistencies in the season. Remember, there was a big article in the
Are
beginning.
they actually blaming Mike Brown?
Hold on. There's a big article that happened. It was at the beginning of the year. Cat and Mike Brown were not seeing eye to eye on anything.
I remember this.
That's why Cat was so awful.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of, settled in. But Cat was under the impression that they wanted Mike Brown gone already.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
But that obviously is not happening.
Right.
No.
You're working this out. The players only meeting happened with Jalen Brunson. They figured this out.
Right.
And that's, the solution. You move off, the bench is fine. Mitch was doing Mitch stuff, looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that the players that we have on the team, that's the issue.
Wait.
The mentality.
Quick. The players, are they blaming Mike Brown for the issues that they're having?
I
to
think
the media? Is that what
the-
they're saying?
Well, I think prior to the players only meeting, it was a Mike Brown blame game. But I think Brunson kind of put that on the table.
So it's not happening anymore?
I don't think it's anymore.
Okay,
no.
good. That's what I wanted to clear up.
I think Jalen squashed that. I mean, again, we're not behind those closed doors of what Brunson said. He better yell to Kent to get your effing shit together
Yeah.
Yeah.
and let's go.
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows? But I think the guys that we have on the starting five are kind of have an ego problem. I think.
That's what happens with any
Except for
championship
OG.
team.
I
Except for
feel like
OG.
one of them, OG just does his thing.
Yeah.
I have no issue with OG. I feel like he's the sole person that just comes up and does what he does.
Hoops.
Tries his best, but gives 110%. And then the other guys are just part of that Villanova band plus Cat.
But that's the problem. Like you would mention the blame game. There was I still don't think there was a reason to fire Tom Thibodeau.
No.
You made it to the
There was no reason.
You made it to the conference finals. The worst thing you can do as a championship contender is have a first-year head coach just walk in the door. Well, not first year, like first year with
Yeah.
the team. And
Makes no sense.
in our preseason predictions, I put the Knicks second instead of first, purely for the fact that it was a new coach.
Yeah.
I think if Tom Thibodeau was the coach, the Knicks would be the 1 seed in the East right now.
Wow.
Regardless
Wow.
of how you feel about him, I guess what Thibodeau was doing, it was working, but not for a championship. But it was working for what they have now.
Right.
But they didn't like how it was working.
Right.
And essentially they
That's
needed to
why.
kind of move off of that. And to me, that's their biggest weakness is just the whole team, like you had mentioned.
Yeah, listen.
Because there's problems everywhere from Leon Rose's roster construction to Mike Brown's coaching
Correct.
schemes to the players' effort on the floor to the defense to the
Egos.
bench. There's the Knicks need to look at themselves in the mirror
Okay.
and really lock in if they truly want to contend. Because there's a very legit possibility the Hawks get them out in 5 games in the first
It's
round.
very true. Oh wow. 5 games.
Listen, I was number one, Tibbs out. And Mike Brown comes in and they're doing the same thing. Oh, no. Now it's not Tibbs' fault. Now, okay, Tibbs should be, it's a player thing now. Because now you're going after Mike Brown. This guy just came in. We're not doing this game of recycling head coaches every 2 years.
Not anymore. Don't be the Suns.
Okay, we're okay. This like David Fizdale. No, like you guys get it together. Like you wanted Mikal here, figure that out. Because why is this guy so bad? When he came from the Nets, almost dropping 20 points
That's
a game.
very true. Very true.
Why, like what's going on in the locker room? Like you're telling
point.
Cat cannot be. I mean, for what Cat does, of course. Leon Rose again, enemy number one. The roster construction's awful. Ferdan Yabusele, Clarkson's kind of been iffy. Mitch is
On
back.
paper, it should work.
But
should.
it doesn't. But it doesn't.
The Knicks are another one of those teams that you could call fraudulent. They're a good team on paper that just can't get it done when it actually matters.
Well, we
okay,
don't know
the-
yet. Let's calm down. I think they're still top 3 seed in the East.
No, but
they can
if-
still
but-
pull up in the playoffs
no,
and
I'm
do
talking.
their thing.
No, but same thing. But if you're going to call the Cavs frauds for their previous lack of success in the playoffs, the Knicks have done the same exact thing.
Listen, if this stands and they're playing the Hawks, if they gentlemen sweep us in 5 games,
Or if the Hawks win, period.
I am advocate number one breaking up the whole team.
Yeah.
because
have to.
Mike Brown does not. I'm not putting blame on Mike Brown at all.
Yeah.
No.
I think right now the Knicks fans see us right now, the team, these players, the starting five, whatever's going on, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I think to close with the Knicks, I would say if you didn't pull the trigger on the McHale trade, you would have Giannis right now.
Oof.
And you don't have assets to get him. And no team is going to do you a favor to take on Cat to just get Giannis.
Unless you got the guy from the Mavs. What's his name?
Nico Harrison.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Listen,
it is what
I
it
think
is.
Leon Rose's McHale trade is,
Yeah.
in my terms, GM malpractice on levels close
Yeah.
to Nico Harris.
It's one of the worst trades in NBA
It's
history. I'm
terrible.
shocked it wasn't on the list of Bleacher Reports.
I think
but,
that's
you know, it's
in
fine.
retrospect, when we first saw that trade, we were like, yes.
Oh no,
and
I
then-
was never like that. I knew you were doomed from the start.
Well, as Knicks, we were happy, but
yeah.
now looking back, everybody is regretting that.
Yeah. He was good against the Celtics in the playoffs last year, but that's kind of about it.
Listen, I'm
We'll see what happens.
always rooting for my team, but
Are you actually?
I mean, I want it to work because again, if you tear down a team, what are you left with realistically?
You're left with
Pretty much nothing.
no picks.
Well, you get some maybe picks back if you're moving off Cat, if you're moving off
No, but
Mikal.
like your picks, like
we're getting other teams' picks.
again, if you're
Yeah.
bad, you can't
That's it.
control that. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be good for the Nets, and I'm really excited for the rest of the
Exactly.
decade.
Listen.
But anyways, we've been talking about the Knicks for a very
10
long
minutes,
time.
bro. They
Yeah.
get their own segment.
Let me
always
talk.
talk about the
Let
Knicks.
me talk about my team.
But did you have anything else on the Knicks, or was that it?
That's-
No, I think just the closing argument is
We should have just cut him off there.
closing argument. I will say that
He's like, no, I just
we
think
need
that.
to learn. And like Tyler said, Sam Presti, you build champions through the draft.
Yeah.
We don't have that capability right now.
I mean, you just got eliminated twice in a
No,
row
I
by
know
a
by
team
that.
that built their team through trades. But that's besides
Who
the
are we
point, I
talking
guess.
about?
The
Which one?
Pacers. The Pacers literally only drafted Nemhard and Turner, and that was literally it. And they don't have Turner anymore.
Yeah.
So literally, Nemhard's their only
Okay.
starter that's not through the draft.
Also,
They just
get better, that's
also,
all.
don't get me started.
just
on
get
why
better.
we traded Obi Toppin.
All right, let's get to our last team.
Okay.
We've talked about the Knicks for like 30 and a half minutes. And that just leaves one team left.
Which one is it? I'm gonna see. Is it the
Nuggets.
It's the Denver
What
Nuggets.
is that? Nuggets, yeah.
Talking about the Denver Nuggets. Talk about a team that is ridiculous on paper, but god freaking awful on the court as of late. Shout out to Jokic, had a ridiculous game the other night. He almost had another 20-20-20 against the Phoenix Suns. If that game went to OT, I guarantee he would have done
You
it.
probably would have.
He was 3 rebounds and 3 assists away from doing it. But when you look back at the championship Nuggets team, I guess I'll ask you this, Gio. What did you remember most? Like, what was the best part about that team from like a basketball perspective?
It was really like, for me at least, it was really like the guys that you didn't really expect to shine in the playoffs shined in the playoffs.
Right.
Like what's it called, Bruce Brown and
Jeff Green,
Christian Brown,
Christian
Jeff
Brown.
Green, those guys.
Yeah. What about you, Antoine?
Go back to 23. You know, Jamal Murray stardom. Of course, Jokic, Brucey B.
Brucey B?
Yeah, that's what they call him.
MPJ was still there, of course.
Yeah.
Christian Brown wasn't that important, I think, during that time.
No, he
Correct
was
me if
during the
I'm
finals.
wrong.
Yeah.
During the he was a vital piece in every playoff series except the Lakers because the
Okay.
Lakers had the experience with the vets that it was impossible for him to really play productive minutes.
Okay, but listen, that team. I mean, I don't have good memory, but we know
But you
how
get the
great
picture.
They were.
You get the picture regarding that.
Yeah, what Gio said exactly.
The one issue that you guys did not bring up is something that my friend Liv Moods always says with the Denver Nuggets up until now. This team never got flustered in the second half, and this team always closed out clutch games. This season, they have the second worst defensive rating in the clutch
Oh no.
all season, behind the tanking Brooklyn Nets. Well,
Oh,
the
God.
Nets are the only team behind them. Whenever the Nuggets were in a close game, or when they were down 20 to the Warriors that one game when Jokic hit the half-court shot, you weren't really concerned because you knew that Jokic would lock in, this team would get the stops they needed to get, and they would go on their runs. And this season, when they have a 5-point lead, I don't trust it. I know they're going to give that right up. They enter the fourth quarter up 10. I know they're losing by 15.
Wow.
Like it's not good. This is the most uncharacteristic stat from the Nuggets that I've seen since they started this run with Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray is that they are
unclutch.
They are unclutch.
That's crazy.
They are getting outgamed when it matters most.
That doesn't make sense.
You know why?
Jamal Murray and Jokic should be the most clutch players in the NBA.
You know why?
Tell me.
There's a clear answer.
Please.
Because Mike Malone's not there anymore.
Oh, you think so?
Precisely.
Okay.
David Adelman had a great run in the playoffs last year. But for us football fans, we know that Arnie Slot last year did that with Klopp's team and Klopp's philosophy. And this year, with his own philosophy and his own schemes and his own roster, shit's hit the fan pretty bad. So we're seeing the full course of David Adelman now. Do I think Mike Malone deserved to get fired? Absolutely. He did not deserve to stay there. But they should have actually hired a coach. And I'm looking back on it now. They essentially...
Who would have brought in?
It's a good question. I'm not sure who, because I didn't really like the set of coaches that were available. But then again, Jordan Ott was available. Johnny Bryant was still available. Taylor Jenkins is still available.
Monday morning quarterback.
Even giving someone even taking a flyer on Mark Jackson, I would have done it. So there are names to be had, and the Nuggets are really going to have to figure this out moving forward. Do they stick with Adelman long term? Do they give him another year? Do they fire him now? I think he deserves to be fired. As much as I'm not a fan of firing coaches every year,
Let's see what they do in the playoffs.
we have to. But again, their main weapon is gone. If they can't win clutch games in the playoffs, I don't know. I don't trust them to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. I just don't.
But that's just how the matchup happens because the West is so stacked.
But even if you're playing anyone else, they just got outclutched by the Lakers the other day. The Rockets are the only team they've outclutched because the Rockets are just as bad, if not worse.
Right.
But I just don't trust this team in the clutch in close games.
Right.
So if they're going to win, they're really going to have to win convincingly and have garbage time minutes at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I know Denver had the injury bug early in the season. Everybody was out. Yeah. Finally, Christian Brown's getting his form back. Looks better for what they paid him in the offseason, of course.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson's doing Cam Johnson things. Obviously, he's not scoring as much. Aaron Gordon's making his way back. Jokic looks fine. Jamal's fine. P-Watt's coming back. The missing Infinity Stones are now coming into place, as I like to say. But it's not translating to what we usually know as prototypical Denver Nuggets basketball under Mike Malone.
Yeah.
So I get it. I do. And, Tim Hardaway Jr. came in too. Looks,
he's fantastic.
Great vet. Knicks legend. Legend.
It doesn't hit the same when it's not
I know
Knicks.
it's not because it doesn't click right. But I'm on the same bandwidth with Tyler's that promoting Adelman from just taking over Malone's system last year and then having a full offseason to build his own. We're seeing it now. So he got that contract and it is what it is.
Yeah. Anything to add, Gio?
I got nothing.
That's fair.
You said
enough.
everything you needed to say.
I thought you were going to say no Russ. This team could really use
Good
Russ.
Oh,
point.
that's a very
Yeah.
good point.
You know what?
That too.
I got something to say.
Anyways,
They don't have Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
all
have
I gotta
Russell
say.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
That's actually that's not a bad shout, to be honest.
No,
with
seriously,
you.
yeah.
Not even as erratic as he was. Did he lose them games? Absolutely, but this team
He
needs
won
energy.
them games too.
Yeah, this team needs energy. This team needs dog. They don't have that
Who's backup point to Jamal?
right now. It's Bruce Brown, who is in the playoffs. I would rather have Bruce Brown than Russell Westbrook, but you could have had both. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Bruce Brown does much at this point.
In the playoffs is what I'm talking about.
Playoffs.
Either way.
In the playoffs, his on-ball defense and his playmaking, I really like for this team specifically.
I think I would trust Russ's instincts,
I would trust Russ 100%.
instincts as a vet, a point guard
The,
over
only,
Bruce
the,
Brown.
on- the,
100%.
the two main things that I trust Bruce Brown with more, he controls his speed a lot better, and he's a much better shooter.
Well, now that Russ is older, he's not as out of control as he used
but
to
I
be.
feel
right.
I think Russ's decision making is a lot more better.
It's
better.
definitely
I
gotten
agree.
better, but it still worries me from time to time. That's the one thing with Russ.
But who's to say that Adelman could
To
have
say that Bruce Brown's better than Russ?
Who
right?
could have said
Ugh,
that?
I
Who
don't
could have
know,
said that? Who
bro.
could have said that
It's not it.
Adelman could have toned that because Russ knew the system already last year. Coming in second season, it could have been polished. It would have
Could have
been
been
a lot
even
better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we'll
You
never
know.
know.
Yeah.
If Russ was still here, I do believe that a lot of the problems y'all have right now would be resolved. But
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think they would be in a much better situation if they had him. And I do think keeping MPJ probably could have been a smarter decision. But then again, with MPJ still on the roster, you wouldn't have been able to get Tim Hardaway. You wouldn't have been able to get Valanciunas or all this depth, Bruce Brown included.
Signed Christian Brown.
So it was really a salary dump.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful that MPJ's been hooping for the Nets. So
Yeah.
but yeah, that concludes the Denver Nuggets, and that concludes every playoff team's biggest weakness. Boys, how do you think that went?
That was good.
I enjoyed that a lot.
I think it was a little long-winded on certain teams.
On certain team.
On a certain team.
On a certain team.
Listen, I don't know. I can't see you right now because my eyesight's gone black.
Wait, what?
So
crazy.
I
You have
don't-
low iron from talking about the
are
Knicks
you
for
are
too
you
long?
looking at me?
For the viewers at home, before we record a lot of episodes, Antoine's always the one saying, let's not over yap about a
Yeah.
certain team or
Yeah.
whatever. And we just yapped about the Knicks for like 11 and a half minutes.
Because listen,
which
we
is
haven't
crazy.
we have not talked about the Knicks
We
in
haven't.
probably like
That's fair.
months.
and I
That's
really
fair. I get
enjoyed
it.
I really enjoyed
get
that
it,
time
bro.
of not
No.
talking about the Knicks.
because we got to talk about one of the best teams in the league.
Literally,
course. I get it.
this episode became everything I hated. We did a whole segment, a 30-minute segment on the Lakers, and we did like 12 minutes on the Knicks. This is like my worst nightmare. But anyways, let us know down in the comments, what is the biggest weakness for your favorite team? If you're out of the playoffs, still list one anyways, because why not?
Yeah.
We're all about inclusivity here on the Floor Spacer podcast. And boys, do we have anything else to say before we dive into the outro?
Nah, let's go.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of episode number 101 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Giovanni, we have a G of the week that we're going to put on the screen right now, and a word of the week.
So this is from, I can't read, oh, here it is. This is from Austin King 2K.
Do you want to give context for everything?
The context is one of our shorts, Tyler, is like the unscramble the word short, right?
Yeah.
So Tyler put up a word, a name, a scrambled up name, and the name happened to be Tingus Pingus. And the guy commented, Austin King comments, he says, "Who the F is Tingus Pingus? I never heard of Latavia.
Latavia.
Latavia. You want to say it in the voice or?
Yeah. I don't want to say the F word because I don't want to get
Yeah.
Demonte's like, who the F is Tingus Pingus? I've never heard of effing Latavia. What the F are they doing?
That is one of the
This
best
dude
videos.
probably don't even have an effing green card.
Wasn't that Michael Rappaport or something like
No,
that?
just a random dude.
Random Knicks fan.
Yeah.
And when before JJ Redick coached the Lakers, he had Tingus Pingus on his podcast, and he's like, "Have you heard of Tingus Pingus?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I have."
That's
So
it.
He loves it. He loves it. He thinks it's hilarious.
That's funny.
So shout out to Tingus Pingus, and shout out to you, Austin King 2K.
yeah.
So Gio,
Oh my god, that Will Richard Glazer.
Will
No,
Richard
seriously.
Glazer, no Will Richard
My
mentioned.
god.
Nice.
Anyway, he's gonna have some big minutes now that Moody's not playing.
Yeah.
So
He will.
see if he can do anything. But Gio, word of the week. What do we got?
Word of the week is gonna be Latavia.
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 Because it sounds like I'm not gonna
It's
say what I was-
Latvia.
I'm not gonna say
Do
what I was
Latvia.
thinking. But yeah, comment Latavia if you stayed this long in the episode.
Exactly. Yeah, it's Lateevia,
Yeah.
which you can see on the screen from previously. So, boys, that's essentially it. We'll keep tabs on. Excuse me, that's burp one of the pod. We'll keep tabs on the league, stuff like that. We only have, what is it, 2 or 3 episodes left until we do our full bracket prediction for the 2026 playoffs. So next week will be a brand new topic that I'm very excited about, something that we haven't done yet on the show, and I think it's going to involve some pretty good debates as well. So stay tuned for it. And if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, try and get us to 11K by May 1st. You have just over a month and a half to get us there, or just over a month, sorry. Hit the bell, that way you're notified when we upload, which is every single day. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls. We're going to try. I'm still trying to figure out how to get us on Apple Podcasts. It's a freaking struggle. But if you in the comments know how or know someone, let us know. Follow our socials at Floor Spacer Pod on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Personal ones are on the screen right here. See my guy Giovanni, get him to 1 million Instagram followers. And follow the Twitch, join the Discord, check out the House of Highlights content I was in. And I think that's it. I want to say, boys, do we have anything else to say before we head on out for the week?
And you want to talk about the Knicks right now, real quick? Or? No, I'm just kidding, bro.
Is he talking to me?
Anyways,
I'm
let's go to
trolling, bro.
sleep.
Let's go to Steph Curry.
Let's
Yeah.
go to sleep. We hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly. Giovanni Squatteri wrote a 350-page memoir on Rudy Gobert, and we'll see you all next week in episode 102. Peace out.
I'm surprised you could read.